What up, peeps? Welcome to the Podcast. I'm your host, John Telewa, aka the Kiss Bandit. And in this show, we explore the key elements that shape our fulfilling existence, from health and well being to financial success, meaningful relationships, and the pursuit of happiness. We cover it all. Our guests include experts, professionals, and everyday individuals who have remarkable stories to tell. Tune in to learn practical tips, gain valuable insights, and discover strategies for personal growth and transformation. Whether you're seeking to improve your health, build your wealth, enhance relationships, or find lasting happiness, we got you covered. Welcome to today's episode. Another amazing episode with a very special guest. And before we start it off, I'll just let him say his name, what he does, and then we'll just take it from there.
Yeah, sounds good. So what's up, everybody? My name is Stomzy, 32 years old. Happy to be here with John. Used to see my boy back in the day doing some interesting things on Facebook.
We're creative from way back.
I'm telling y'all, man, like right now, Facebook is like a platform, like literally everybody's there. I think even my grandma is there right now, man. So back in the day when it was just like a small, tight-knit community, just shout out to you for what you used to do. Just to get yourself on the map, and here we are, man. Like this is amazing, man. So
I
shout out to you,
especially for somebody who comes like, yo, don't leave me hanging, don't leave me.
Oh
hanging.
yeah, oh my bad. Actually, literally thought you were just like
no. Especially for somebody who knows me from way back in the day, I respect that. And another thing, guys, listen. I mean, I don't even know how he knew this, but the lights in my living room, Govi. And he didn't come empty-handed, man.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, I hope you guys learn from such great people that it's not, oh man, listen, thank you.
Nah, man.
Thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Bro. It's nothing.
I appreciate it.
I think for me, one thing is what I've learned is when you coming into somebody's space, either number one, you break bread together.
Yeah.
And I'm the guest, so I'm supposed to come through, and provide the necessary things because I'm coming into your space. And now because I noticed the whole setup, the lights and all that was like,
RGB here and there.
Yeah. Let me just bless my brother here with something, something small. So
this is crazy.
Yeah, man, it's nothing.
And sync it up on every room so you know what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, just to get to your story, because should I call him friend, workmate, or what? He reached out to me through email.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really sure. Oh, it's Kelvin, right?
This is Kev, yeah.
Yeah. So I wasn't really sure about exactly what you do. And it's crazy because I was just interested in everything that you had posted on YouTube, but I had never seen your channel.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just started going through it. And then I'm like, you know what? This is somebody that I do need on the podcast, especially with how, Trump tariff wars, the craziness that's going on in the market. And even before we started, I just told you, the biggest mistake not the biggest, but a mistake that I did, I've done worse.
Yeah.
But, just selling low and, unfortunately, the market pumps.
Yeah, man.
But even with that being said, how would you describe exactly what you do?
Yeah, so, I mean, I've been in this, in high finance for a while now. So I want to say like a decade plus. And I started really early. I started when I was in uni. Got exposed into what now is so popular right now with the YNs,
yeah.
which is just trading Forex. So we used to do this back in 2012.
You were trading in
2012 when like the world of like this whole high finance thing was still very niche.
Yeah.
So of course learned my lessons. I burnt out several times, failed. Got into trouble and all that. So my story is like really, really deep. We don't have to cover it right now, but the whole lesson just taught me so much about exercising what the principles of the greats like Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett. Just buy and just hold. Make sure you have high quality companies or high quality assets in your portfolio so that you can win in the long term. So anyway, I'm digressing. The whole name of the game for me was just, get into these high finance slash investment opportunities, and I started building out a small stock portfolio. And right now, I don't need to give like numbers, but it's up to like 6 figures in USD.
Wait.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, it's up to 6 figures. I mean, this is like
So we're not talking Kenyan?
no.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Listen,
talking big Benjis right now,
I'll give you a props, man.
I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
I'll show you the portfolio a little later.
Hey, I wanna see that in the app, and then I'm like, how they did it in Wall Street.
Yeah.
It's like, just show me those numbers, and I'll stop what I'm doing right now and start doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But interesting. But just go on. I just had to intervene a bit because when you say 6 figures, that just
Yeah, I mean, it took time, and I'm still not where I want to be. So the reason why, even just jumping up on this podcast, and shout out to Kev over here for just setting this up, was just the whole ecosystem is more or less, I want to say, just for lack of a better word, it's very homogeneous. It's very white.
Yeah.
A lot of white folks, invest, and they invest super long term. And that's something that, us as Black folk, maybe a little bit of Asian folks, but I don't know about Asians, but I know for a fact, like Black folk, we really don't put money down for the long term and, invest in, high finance assets and stuff like that. But there are people who actually do it. So for me, the goal was just to like empower folks, just help bridge that gap, bring more people on board so that we're all collectively winning. It's something that all of us are just going to be looking back and saying, hey, you know what? As a people, we're advancing ourselves with no need for interventions from any governments, any kind of things. It's just our own, we pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and just, make money for ourselves, make our money work for us. So yeah, that's basically the whole principle of why, I started this entire thing with my company, bringing Kev on board, and now just being here.
Okay. Yeah. Now, another thing, did you start this in Kenya or were you doing it outside like the country?
Yeah. So when it comes to stocks, I started here.
How?
I'm telling you, I was like so interested from such a young age.
Okay, just go on, explain. I always interrupt people when I'm amused, so just forgive me, but just feel free to continue.
No, for sure. So, so like I said, started getting exposed into, high finance and all these things in 2010-ish.
Okay.
2010, that's when
is there like an influence, an uncle, a friend, or like how do you just start? Like 2012, like I know I was always online, and I remember telling some of my friends, like, if I ever figure out how to make money online, like, all the stress is just gonna reduce. And it took me like probably like 12 years.
Yeah.
Figure it out. And now there's so much information like online, but who like influenced you, or how did you just like, because I know I could see it existing in movies and probably internet and stuff, but how do you start this in Kenya?
Now, for sure, I'm just going to shout out Napoleon Hill. If anyone has read that book, Think and Grow Rich, that was the impetus. That was a start.
Okay.
So got that book, read it like from cover to cover in, I don't know, like record time. And then I reread it again. So it was just like, I'm so interested in these self-help books. What else can I consume? And I just came across, I forget the name, but it was, it was something like, The Almanac of Charlie Munger. I still have that book today. And of course, now they were talking about value investing and stuff like that. So I picked up the entire book and just read it, got online and started reading The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, the father of Warren Buffett's whole strategy.
Yeah.
And, I just consumed that stuff. So that was my initial start. That's where I started. And I was like, hey, you know what? This is something I'm interested in. I like.
Yeah.
And of course, my mom was like, yo, you need to get into IT. Back in the day, parents were like, yeah, this is the direction you should go. And as millennials, I feel like, we're like, okay, cool. Whatever you say.
Whatever you say, I think this is the right thing.
This is the right thing. So I did my IT, but, in the back of my mind and, my passion was still in high finance. I even wanted to do a CFA back in the day.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like really, really interested in this and just do investment banking and stuff like that. So that was the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now, like, as you're starting off, which platforms or like, like I don't think we had apps then. Back then, I mean, that's why like even for my case, I'm just like still amused because like there were no apps. Even if there were apps, there were probably just few. And even doing it in Kenya, like through like just what institutions, what platforms were available during that time that enabled you to actually like get into like stocks.
Yeah, for sure. So you're 100% right. Like back in the day, apps was like, I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
Like hard to come by. So everything was just web based. So it just, I remember, oh my gosh. Like I remember we used to have Zuku back in the house. And my mom used to pay, bruh, like back in the day, bruh, like the speeds were like 256 kbps,
And
128,
and the prices were crazy.
mad crazy. And like right now, if you just look at it, you're like, what? There's no way I can pay that. But that was a situation back then. So regardless, that was still nothing compared to what now, as you just said, in terms of information that's out there. It was very difficult to find the information.
Yeah.
It was very difficult to sign up onto these platforms because most of them were just geo-fenced for the United States and probably like Europe.
Yeah.
But I was very lucky. Like I started, like I said, with FX. MetaTrader had options to actually buy stocks back in the day.
Back then?
Yeah, back then.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's I think that's the first time I ever like even thought about buying any stock. Yeah, so I think just in a nutshell, that was like the whole experience around it. It was very difficult. There was a high barrier to entry.
Okay.
Just to get into and get exposure into high finance.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now, like even just to split this into three segments that I think maybe for my case, I would say it's according to my knowledge. I would categorize stocks and then I don't know the specific names, but stocks, we have Forex.
Yeah.
And then we have crypto.
Oh, yeah.
Right? All of them you can buy and sell.
Yeah.
But with those three categories, like what really favored your portfolio as you're just growing it?
Yeah, so for me, it was just mostly stocks. Like I mentioned, when I did Forex, I failed. And even up to today, like I think I even got backlash one time when I was on King Ori's show. And, people were like, what is this dude talking about? Like, what do you mean you can't make money off of FX? But for me, like, based on my experience, it's so difficult. You literally are.
Hard.
Yeah, you literally have to compete with guys who have, data centers, people who have high amount of compute.
Yes.
Just making microtransactions and trading every single day. And that's
crazy teams of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are like people with math PhDs, physics PhDs, like crazy smart people.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to throw any kind of shade on anyone.
Yeah.
For anyone out there who's like making like real money, shout out to you. But for me, I burnt out several times. The first time I lost money was my mom fronted me $100. And I was like, yeah, this one I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna make sure I make this like $1,000.
Yeah.
That proceeded to just dramatically just get burnt in like
blow
a
your
couple
account,
of days, 100%. Yeah, so fast. Tried again with 500. Tried again with 1,000. All the same results. So you know what they say about madness. Doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So for me, that was like, oh, okay, this one for me isn't working. Let me see what else I can just try and get my hands dirty with, and I have a higher probability of making some money. So stocks started.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on crypto before now I go back to stocks?
Yeah. Honestly, I really don't know much about crypto.
Really?
Because I think when I read the white paper by Satoshi back in the day, it was just so foreign. It was just an idea.
What?
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is nice. It sounds great, but I really don't know. I really don't understand.
It makes no sense at all.
I know.
What?
Yeah. So for me, crypto is one of those things. I'm like, you know what? Like FX, this one I won't touch.
So even in your portfolio, you don't have anything crypto?
I used to have some crypto. I used to have some BNB.
Yeah.
And of course some Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's it. Like, anything else, I was like, oh, you know what? This, I really don't know.
So it's not something that right now is like, enticing you in any way? Because like we even have like Donald Trump now including it in the American government reserve.
Yeah.
And he's constantly telling people like, yo, I mean, trust me, we are proving so many financial institutions to include these like in their systems.
Yeah.
So it's okay. They're almost like giving it like a green flag. So even with that being said, is it something that still like, you know, interests you, or like just stocks have really worked out well for you?
Yeah. So as you just said, you know, whatever it is that's working for me right now, that's
Really?
what I will focus on. I have nothing against crypto. I think it's an excellent idea. The whole concept,
Yeah.
the whole, you know, the whole uptake of it.
Okay.
But yeah, like
Actually, just
yeah.
I mean, I can tell, you know, somebody who follows Warren Buffett, there is no way they want to hear anything to do with crypto.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just
So just like, you know,
on the side.
okay, so now like with something like stocks, like, because, you know, behind the scenes, like you just mentioned something to do with like just buy and hold.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now I'm just trying to think for somebody who's like just an average Kenyan
Yes.
entering the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
How easy is it for somebody to like grow their portfolio to like even something like close to 6 figures or just like a comfort level? Is it something that's actually possible with an average Kenyan with an average salary?
For sure. And that's something that I keep preaching to folks who I talk to. And I'll show you the results right now because I have two people that whenever I started my company and my entire business, you know, with Kev over here as well, the whole idea was just to emphasize that you can start with any kind of amount, even if you have $10, just start. The whole idea is just to shift you or shift people, and mostly Africans, from thinking about, from being just consumers to being owners.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a phone right here. This is an Apple phone.
I know I don't have Apple stocks. Before you even say it.
I'm just saying.
Before you even say it, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I know.
Like most of the things here, like all these companies are listed. So you're drinking a Sprite.
Yeah.
Coke is listed. You know what? Even if you just buy, like, I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but even if you bought Coke and just said, actually,
just held it.
just held. You just eat your dividends. I think they pay like, I don't know, it's 70 cents per share. So like shifting that mindset from, you know what, I'm not gonna just be giving this company money. I also want something back, you know, type thing. So to answer your question, let me just open up my phone and show you.
Put down my next question. I don't want to forget it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
so when you see me on my phone, it's either I'm looking up questions or putting down like reminders. Because anything to do with finance, there's some things like when you leave here and then I'll just be like, why didn't I ask this?
For sure.
Yeah.
So this is just an example. I started off with this lady in end of April, and she put 350 of her own money. So when was this? Fifth was
5th of which month?
This month.
Okay.
When was 5th? Like 2 days,
4 days ago.
Yeah, 3-4 days ago.
Yeah.
So I told her, let me see how your portfolio is right now.
Yeah.
So remember, she started off with 350. That's $22.
Yeah.
In a span of like 2 weeks, in a down market where people are saying tariffs are hurting the stock market and all that stuff. So these are the companies in her portfolio that I helped her pick, and that's like overall the whole concept is like, we'll get some high quality companies for you based on your risk profile, and we'll just hold these. We'll hold these for as long as possible until we find better opportunities. Then maybe we can liquidate a bit or even more. Okay. But the goal is just to grow you from whatever it is that you started with, which was like $350, all the way till $1 million, if possible.
Man, listen, my Ethereum is down. I might just like, you know. Okay.
That's one. Let me show you the second one. Let's see. Let me just.
This is so interesting. Okay, and also like another question I'll ask, like now, how does somebody like know which platforms to go to, or like where do you come in now? Like, are you the mediator to introduce people? Like, are you the stockbroker? Are you like no? At least I do not know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
If I was a stockbroker,
I'd be seated here next to somebody, you know.
Yeah. I wish.
Yo.
I wish. And to be quite honest, like the whole thing is, I just give folks a disclaimer. I'm like, hey, you know what? I've done this for a while, but I'm not a licensed investment advisor. I don't have an investment bank, all that kind of stuff. But all the knowledge that I have, I will give to you and help you, hold your hand throughout the entire year and then some, to just help you. So whatever it is that I'm doing, I will do for you and just help guide you so that you can build a habit, build the consistency to put money down and just invest in high quality companies. So this is also another example of this lady here. Really good friend of mine. This is the same time, 5th as well. So you can see for yourself. I just tell her, let me just see how your portfolio is right now after we
So how much did she put in?
She put $300 in.
Oh, and then now it's like 334.
334.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a few days ago, how long?
So her, she's early
like
April.
In a month?
Yeah, like this is in a month.
Okay,
yeah, hers is like in a month. But the other one, because she has a higher risk profile, we started literally 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's up $22. So like the idea is just like, hey, you know what? This will build over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever time you have a little bit of disposable income, like to do something that we call dollar cost averaging, which means, just put some money.
Every end of the month, every 2 weeks, or every end of the week, just put something in
Put something. Yeah.
Okay.
Put your money to work. Yeah.
And then now, like another thing I would ask, like, okay, we'll come back to like choosing like the right platforms, because like I think even for my case, and that's the thing, I think I've been talking about it like on the podcast, like I don't know which websites to use, like, like the stockbroker, like the validated ones, because as we know, like right now, like, there's a crazy like just rampage of people getting like scammed, of course.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And the hesitant scams, especially like for my side, like crypto, I know quite well. Stocks, the only reason I'd be hesitant, it's just because I don't know which platforms to use and if they're actually validated or the right ones to use. Like, I won't wake up one day, like, I put in like, even like if it's $1,000,
yes,
and the site is like crashing, it's not working, I can't liquidate.
Yeah.
So how do you choose the perfect ones? Or even how do you help people like get like,
Yeah. So unfortunately, now that we're based here in Kenya, the business environment and the legal environment is so strict in terms of like, let me not even use strict. It's so restrictive. We had companies, a company that I invest through, like buying my assets through.
Yeah.
They had to leave Kenya.
Oh,
yes,
harsh environment.
It was super harsh in terms of taxes and all that,
and kickbacks, of course,
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they had to leave. Another platform as well. So that's eToro. Another platform, FXCM, great platform, great UI, super easy to use. They also had to leave. Yeah, and I have one of my clients who's also based in Uganda. They are using FXCM right now because they didn't leave Uganda. So it's just Kenya.
Oh, okay.
So that's also another one. But the one that works, and I see that, has a good track record, has been there for a long time. It's based out of the UK as well. It's called Interactive Brokers. That's the one I'm like, hey, if anyone is looking into getting started with this entire, practice and principle of investing, that one is okay. Especially
if you're Kenyan.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's one I'd recommend. The others, of course, local. I really don't know about local.
I wouldn't touch any local.
Yeah.
Regardless, I would not want at all, because like, like just based on track record, we understand like anything that is to do with finances. If it's not bank or the government, because I also like do like government bonds.
Cool.
It's a bit too risky.
Yeah.
And also like we'll just come back to the portfolio and like the platforms, right? You've said the one for UK is called?
Interactive Brokers. And there's eToro as well.
Can you use eToro in Kenya?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
So Interactive Brokers, signing up, like what are the requirements?
Yeah, so of course you will have, I think think if you ever want that. I actually created a new account to just help folks who are just like interested in this entire thing.
Okay.
So it's a super easy thing to just follow, but the KYC is really, really, really in depth. Like
That's KYC.
KYC, know your client. So
Okay.
basically, even your bank,
Yeah.
whatever, they have to do KYC. They need your ID. They need probably like your address and seeing probably a utility bill to actually show that you live where you're saying you live.
Okay.
So that kind of stuff. So it's of course just regular stuff. That's regulatory stuff that's required by any kind of organization right now in the world.
Yeah.
For what? To stop and help prevent money laundering.
That's
So,
true.
yeah, so
That's
that's super important. But if you just follow the entire steps and you go through, you can be able to get started in pretty much maybe a day or two.
So you said you have a new account. Is that like a YouTube, or like where can people find this information?
Yeah, so I recorded something on YouTube, and I'm happy to share the link with you as well.
Yeah.
But basically, just like anyone who wants to like get started and probably wants to just do this either on their own or even they need my help, I'm more than happy to do that. That's the first thing.
So you'll just help them out of the kindness of your heart.
Definitely not out of the kindness of my heart. It's still a business. I still have to pay myself. I still have to pay Kev.
Exactly, yeah. Because you know how Kenyans are. They'll take that segment and understand like, oh, okay, he's just,
I wish. Probably if I had like Warren Buffett kind of money, I would do it.
True.
Yeah.
And even Warren Buffett wasn't really, it was just telling you buy and hold.
Buy and hold.
That's the best strategy.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so now for just the regular documents that you'd need, of course, physical address, showing your bills. What is it called? I don't know the perfect term used for like just the bills and like you said, utilities documents.
Yeah,
ID or passport, I'm guessing.
100%.
Okay, and then you can just start. How are you purchasing them? Like, is it through something? Because if it's a link with Kenya, like in crypto, you can buy through M-Pesa. So how do you buy like those assets? Do you use Visa? Is M-Pesa something that you can use, or what are the PayPal?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
So right now with Interactive, I think the one that I'm slowly trying to like emphasize that people should think about doing is probably doing a bank transfer so that you can be able to link your bank with the platform itself. But of course, like Visa, using things like Wise and all that kind of stuff, you can be able to load your account.
Yeah.
So like they provide all the globally accepted means to be able to transfer. Yeah, to transfer money.
I think the biggest hurdle with a lot of people, and what I know is that people, yes, can get money, but how to invest is where the biggest problem is. Most people just don't know where and how to do it.
Yeah.
So I guess even with people like you coming up and actually showing people like, hey, this is how we can do it. It provides a little bit of financial literacy, because I've had people on the podcast like, and this is especially with female guests who have like access to money, rich boyfriends, side hustles here and there. You know how we do it. So, and it's so crazy because when you hear about the numbers and then I'm just looking at them, I'm like, yo, this is just heartbreaking, because I had a lady, she was a stripper and an escort as well.
Okay.
So she did it for like since she was 19 to 29.
Okay.
Right. And she was making 70 Gs per week.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's close to $2,500 in a month, if I'm not wrong. Right?
Yeah.
Or $2,000.
Cash.
Yeah.
Damn.
Tax free.
Because
it's 140 Gs, and then, for 2 weeks, and then multiply it by 2. That's like, 280.
Yep.
So close to 400 Gs.
Dang.
But, also, of course, it comes with like the hardships and stuff,
for
right?
Sure.
Yeah. But, in some nights, she was like, getting tips for up to like $1,000. No. First of all, you haven't had anything yet.
What?
So I was asking her, like, just give me a breakdown. So until we got to the numbers, she was like, I had never counted like how much I'm making per month, because as long as I go out at night, I'm making money.
Yep.
If it's coming back home with 10 Gs, 15 Gs, 9 Gs, but it was just like standard.
Yeah.
As long as I leave the house, I come back with that amount of money.
Yeah.
So she did it for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just got tired of the game.
Yeah.
So I was just asking her, so, okay, because I'm excited about like all the numbers. So I'm asking her, so what did you do with the money? And she's like, I don't have it. I'm like, wait, what do you mean you don't have it? And then this is like also like another thing, because it's almost like an African thing or cultural thing, where she said like that money is cursed and there's nothing much you can do with it. So I'm asking her, so just tell me exactly what you're doing with the money. She said, like, we could party, go buy cocaine, buy drugs and everything, but just finish it and then go back the next day and make some more money. And then I'm telling her, like, there's no way. That's not curse. It's you spending money. That's just you being irresponsible.
100%.
So you can't say it's a curse, but when you're going to have fun with the money, it's not cursed. You're still enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
So 10 years later, she doesn't have the money, right? And her episode is just about to come out, and I was just asking her, like, okay, so what's the living condition and everything?
Yeah.
Said, like, right now I'm broke, but I'm just trying to figure things out, start afresh. I don't want that lifestyle anymore.
Yeah.
So I ask her where she's staying. She tells me she's staying in Dandora.
Okay.
I want you to guess how much she's paying for rent.
3,000, 4,000.
1,000.
Damn.
That's plus electricity.
No way.
Yes.
Man, that is so sad.
And that's like also like a story for so many other people who like just get access to money. But the one problem is with a lot of people is that they just don't know what to do with the money.
Yeah.
Even if, because, we're in a country where like, of course, money doesn't come easily, but you can, get like a supplies tender here, something on the side. I also had like another girl who said she spent around 13 mil Kenya shillings. Yeah, but she just doesn't know where the money went. She opens wines and spirit, usual M-Pesa shop or something.
Yeah.
If you have a rich boyfriend who's just like throwing cash at you. So she blew 13 million, but she was saying like, I wish I knew you back then. I was like, no, you knew me. You knew me.
Yeah.
It's just like at the time, maybe the money is too much. It's coming.
Yeah.
And you're not paying attention to other people around. But there's so many other people who've come to the show. They get money, but they just don't know the process of investing, buying anything, even if it's government bonds, crypto, whichever, but any asset that you can at least even, I think, monitor like on your phone. So like, just what advice would you have for people who are still like hesitant? Because it's not just millennials, even Gen Z.
Yeah.
They're still hesitant in getting into digital assets. And we just spend so much time on our phone. You can track like all the things that you invest into. So what advice would you have those people who are still hesitant in getting into like just assets that you can monitor like on your phone?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I feel like one thing that we have lacked as a society and probably in our education system across the world, maybe in the East, not so much.
Yeah.
But it's just understanding fiscal discipline. And what I mean by this is just like, cool, you can make a salary of like 3K.
Yeah.
If you can be able to put aside 30 shillings, you're good. You're in the top 1% because 99% of people will not do that.
That's true.
So if you have that fiscal discipline and start with your 30 bob, if you're given 30,000, that becomes 300. If you're given 300,000, that becomes 3K.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. So you build that finance. It's not just going to the gym.
Yeah.
You're just building up that muscle, that you know what? Hey, you know what? I'm going to save this money. And now from there, opportunity finds you. I think that's something I just honestly, truly believe.
Yeah.
Opportunity will find you so that you can be able to, number one, learn, or number two, be able to put your money to work. So the advice for, the lady who blew 13 million or the one who was stripping and was making close to an engineer's salary.
Yes, in Kenya.
In Kenya, just by dancing. It's just that cool. I mean, the money is just like, I feel like it's just such a concept once you just understand how to use it and make it for lack of a better word, to make it your bitch and make it work for you, then everything starts clicking. It's not something you're just chasing. It's something that you're chasing and actually getting to hold and keep.
Uh-huh.
So that being said, something simple as just probably even just I'm pretty sure these shorties probably had like wants and needs and stuff like that. Cool. You want I don't know, an iPhone, for example. I think the iPhone is like the ultimate entry level luxury item people want.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just looked at it and, I don't know, just researched or maybe even listened to the news, you'd hear good things being said about the company and stuff like that. And you're like, you know what, maybe I might want to actually own
Some stocks in Apple.
something like this. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be even Apple. Use people, if we even look at our local market right now, use M-Pesa. Safaricom is listed on the NSE. I don't know, maybe your boyfriend or your mom, dad, whoever buys cement to build a house.
Yeah.
Bamburi is also listed. So all these everyday things that people consume, there's a company with people behind it whose job is to make sure that company continues growing, continues making money, because if they make money, they'll be successful. And because of that, they also open it up to the capital markets where people can actually now be owners.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that makes me so happy and gives me joy is that, whenever you just receive that M-Pesa message, and I'll show you that, hey, you know what, X amount of money has been deposited into your M-Pesa or your bank account as dividends.
Yeah.
Bro, I literally did not. You just kind of come up and you're like, hey, kumbe I even had some stocks over. I didn't know. This money I'll use it to do XYZ.
Okay.
So it offsets some of your, expenses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like with the right kind of mindset where you're like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna make sure I invest in myself first to get the knowledge. And to look for help, to become better in terms of fiscal discipline, then success is around the corner. And it's not something that you have to wait nowadays, 30, 40 years for that. You'll start seeing the fruits by week 1. And then you're like, hey, you know what, this is making sense.
Especially that it's on your phone.
It's on your phone. You can see it right now. And you can see how the performance is. And if you don't fixate on the minute details and you have like a medium to long-term view, you're like, hey, I'm good. Like in a couple years' time, if any kind of shock event or if I just want to take it easy, it's possible.
True.
Yeah.
So now another thing I would ask is like even the website that do you call it a website or platform?
A platform.
A platform. Yeah, let's call it platform. So what's like their commission? Because as much as, yes, you're making like, a little bit of interest here and there as the stocks go up, but what's like their commission as you earn your money?
Yeah, so the only time they charge a quote unquote commission is when you're executing. What I mean by executing is when you're buying.
Okay.
So when you buy, they'll just take a small amount. I think
a processing
like
fee
cents.
or
something.
Just
like a processing fee. It's like the transaction fee in M-Pesa. And then that's it. That's it. So until the time comes where you want to like withdraw, and I'll show you because I've also done a couple of withdrawals. The most I've been charged for withdrawal is $5, and it's not small money. So let me just show you right now.
So they have an app, right?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah. So like, there's no excuse for anyone to be like.
And when you personally buy, you buy through bank or use your Visa, or how do you buy?
Yeah. So I'll like I said, they have all the globally accepted payment methods. Yeah. So I'll just transfer.
Okay.
When I do the transfer, that's basically it. It'll show up on my portfolio, one and done. Then from there, I can now go ahead and purchase the assets that I like.
I might have some stock by next week, though. I've tried. The crazy thing is, like, I've tried getting, like, people who do stocks, but the closest I came was like somebody was talking about like the local now companies. But when they were talking about the platforms, I was like, if I can't monitor something on my phone right now, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Because crypto has shown me like, yeah, you can actually monitor 24/7. Oh, wait, there's something else that I hadn't even thought of. So in that platform, when you're talking about buying and selling, because I know with stocks, they have specific hours that they can buy and sell. Like when they say like, okay, the New York Stock Exchange, whatever is open, you can now trade until whatever certain time. So coming from a crypto community, like I'm telling you, that's why we're doing like these bad decisions, because you can wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, oh, stocks are going up, everything's going up, I can just sell now.
Yeah.
But is that the same case with, or how is the environment with stocks when it comes to buying and selling?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. It's just from now, without daylight savings right now. So it's 4:30 local time, 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
That's when the market opens and it goes until like 11. So that's when you
11 p.m. Kenyan
11
time.
p.m. Kenyan time,
Okay.
which is not bad. Like you can actually do that. So basically, the idea is just like, those are the set hours. That's when the market is open. And that's when you can actually now, participate if you're actually like looking to actively do it. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can even wake up at 8 a.m. in the morning. You're like, you know what? Today I'm going to buy X. Today I'm going to buy, not X, Twitter. Today I'm going to buy, I don't know, Coke, for example.
Yeah.
You just place your order. When the market opens, it executes automatically.
Oh, so you also have those automated systems where like,
Yes.
And can you put like a specific amount, like I want it to buy when the stock is at this price, automatically buy. But if it's at this price, don't buy. Can you do such things?
Yeah, 100%. It's literally the exact ecosystem that you use for crypto is the same one they borrowed from the stock market. So the crypto market is just it's a younger brother or a younger sister of the stock market. That entire system is exactly how it is like on crypto.
So on that app, it's available.
100%.
What?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know why
I don't believe I've just been. I feel okay. I don't feel stupid. It's just okay. I understand how this episode is actually very important because, like, even a lot of people. But it's crazy because, like, in every episode, I always talk about crypto. I talk about investments, and I strongly talk about government bonds.
Oh yeah.
So I would want to know, like, your thoughts as you're just showing me that. I would want to know your thoughts on like government bonds. Because mutual funds, MMFs don't make any sense to me. It's just like, it makes no sense. It's like they've really sold it to Kenyans, and I look at it and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here. What's your thoughts on bonds? Let's start with government bonds.
Yeah, bonds for me, I feel like anyone can get started. I mean, it's also a low barrier to entry-ish, but the more money you have, the more you can make with bonds because those are long-term things. I don't know. I feel like when you just have deep pockets, that plus fixed income with a bank, you're good to go.
No. I want to know about your...
My opinion?
Yes. Like, do you have do you have bonds?
I don't have any bonds at the moment.
No. Now we need to know why. Because, like, all the other platforms, because I assume when you're investing in all these other companies, you've like done your research. So why wouldn't you touch like the Kenyan government bonds?
I'm not throwing any shade. I feel like they have great returns. Of course, it's also a very old system of, putting money down and, getting it to work for you. But for me, I'm just chasing alpha returns. And I'll explain what alpha returns means.
Okay, yeah.
So alpha means outsized, anything above the benchmark. The benchmark for most people around the world is the S&P 500, which grows at like 10% annually if we just look at it from like all the way back since inception.
So 10% annually.
10% annually.
Okay. Guaranteed.
Okay, not so guaranteed.
Almost like you can just say like it's almost gonna happen. It's 10%.
Exactly. On average.
On average.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's 10%. But I want to make 30, 40, maybe even 50. Heck, why not 100?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So those questions were the ones I used to ask, and I was like, there has to be a way. And anyway, I just went ahead and just buried myself in this information, consumed as much as I could, learned, failed, learned. And then from there, basically, I was like, okay, cool. Let me just go ahead and use the knowledge that I have right now to now build my own that is not basically just the market. It's just not. I'm not buying.
You telling me it's possible to make more than 30?
Yeah.
No. Listen, sorry to upset you. I'm just asking. Is it possible to make more than 30? Wait, by just holding and not trading?
100%. Let me show you right now.
How is that even possible? How?
Let me show you right now. Let me show you.
What?
Look at the return on that one. It can even show them.
Wait, so what am I looking at? I'm looking at...
So you're looking at, this is the value for this stock,
okay,
the amount that I've put in.
Yeah.
The amount below it with the green, that's how much in profit I've been able to make. And then the percentage over the period of time.
Well, the percentage is like 45.40.
Yes.
Is this one stock?
That is just one. So you can, if they could see it.
Yeah, I'll have to superimpose it because I think the ISO will be like a bit too.
Okay, no sweat. But you've seen it for yourself. That's 45.
The hell, man.
And I own this company. And if you go to Westlands or those sides of Westlands, and I think on James Gishuru,
yeah,
you will see this company on a billboard being advertised for people to now buy.
And it's not a Kenyan company?
It's not a Kenyan company. It's based out of the States. They have billboards in Nairobi right now as we speak.
Yeah. So who are they advertising to then?
Consumers. People who want to buy and spend money.
But this is not info. I'm just saying, like, because it's not ordinary Mwananchi is not. Because if I don't know about this, I can guarantee you, like, none of my friends know about this.
Oh, yeah.
So, interesting, guys.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll just do the superimposing there.
Yeah.
You'll send me a screenshot.
For sure.
So that people can understand what we're talking about. So, because I was asking about bonds, because, like, on bonds, like, you know, the Kenyan government is actually, it's probably the government that has the highest bond returns in the world. Probably.
Yeah. It's amongst the top.
Because, I mean, America, I think it's like 5%.
Less than
3%.
I think it's even less than that. It's probably like a 1% or 2%. We can check right now.
It's ridiculous. It's like super low.
So low.
Kenya, we're talking up to 18%.
Oh yeah.
18% guarantee is crazy.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, like, for somebody like you, why, like, wouldn't you have an interest? Even if it's like just putting like a little bit, you know, there. Because they still have like their, don't call it dividends, I call it the coupons. Or you can let it compound, but they do have like their coupons every 6 months if you want to, because like that's how I take care of my utilities.
Yeah.
I get like my coupons, like I've structured them in such a way that every month like I get something.
Okay.
So I just know my rent, utilities, and you know, entertainment is covered by the Kenyan government.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
They're paying your bills.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you know, it's just interesting to know that it can give you like almost that guarantee. And as much as you're buying all these other ones, you still don't have your hand in that like golden pot. Because I think for me, it's just like one of the things that if you have a good portfolio, you wouldn't mind putting it. Because now I'm just even thinking, should I call my relationship manager and tell her like, oh, I think I've gotten like, you know, I need to liquidate something from this.
No, she'll probably be against that.
Oh, no, she'll highly advise me not to. Like, just leave it. Just leave it.
Yeah.
Okay, so why wouldn't you have even like, because I think even if it comes to like Warren Buffett, they have diversified portfolios.
100%.
Because he has like, even though he was never like, you know, an Apple person, he at some point he gave in and bought a bunch of Apple.
Yeah, which he sold last year.
Oh, he sold?
Yeah.
Everything?
Not everything.
Oh, but
a huge amount. A ton.
But I think that's the best thing about also like the financial market. Once you study it, you understand like the importance of building a portfolio. Like the way you said, the more you have, even if it strikes like a 10%.
That's 10% free money.
Yeah. So it also just depends on your portfolio side, but why wouldn't you touch bonds if you're a person who's following Warren Buffett, but diversifying is also like just a no-brainer, and we do have something that he has close to 18% guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a very, very important point, and shout out to you for just putting some money in bonds.
Yeah.
That's something that I have to like give you your flowers for.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, bonds, I was like, um, based on my risk profile and how I approach risk, I am more inclined to assets that are slightly risky, but
Mm-hmm.
have a higher guarantee or rather higher probability of better returns.
Mm-hmm.
Not throwing shade on the government. 18% is tremendous.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But I'd rather put my money in something that's making a slightly more than
Yeah,
18%.
I'm getting in there as
Yeah,
well. So I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
okay, it makes sense if you're
yeah,
getting more, and especially if you're trying to build that portfolio. Maybe you
yeah.
have like your own personal targets. It makes
Yes.
sense because 18 it means it's 18. It doesn't go
Yeah,
above
that's
that.
basically it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're capped at that. So for
Mm.
me, like if I don't know, like today everybody in Kenya just was given like a billion, and then they start uh taking those cruises by Royal Caribbean that I just showed you that
Yeah.
improves their bottom line and their top line. They
Mm.
make more money. I
Mm.
make more money in
Yeah.
return as well
Yeah.
because of the performance. So, and that's the thing when you're able to just like have that information where you're able to like see what's going
Mm-hmm.
on black and white,
Yeah.
white and black, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can be able to now gauge and make a decision, be a conscious. I can use this data consciously to be able to see the trajectory of this asset and this investment opportunity and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, bonds are great, and shout out to everyone who's interested in that kind of thing. For me, I'm just like, let me just focus on the equities part right now.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'll diversify with is with the sectors. So
Mm.
I'll not make sure like all my money is in one sector, like
Also
tech.
like health, AI,
Yeah.
and
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
and also like another thing that I have to ask is, so when somebody's starting off something like this, do you come in like helping them to choose the best assets, whether it's low risk or high risk? Is that like a role that you also play?
Yeah. So
And what's
basically,
your commission?
yeah, for sure. So for me, I just like just to make sure that I really am super clear to everyone who's watching this is, like I said, back in the day, there was just a very high barrier to entry. Right now, information is out there in abundance, up to the point where people get, analysis paralysis type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just to like be able to digest that information, take your information in terms of like, hey, this is my risk profile as John.
Yeah.
This is my goal in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10, 30, 40 years. And then now we come up with a plan together. And then my job is now to help pick the right assets for you,
Yeah.
so that you can either choose to like you're like, okay, cool, I'll buy these ones not so much. So my job is just to give you the right basket of information
Depending with your risk appetite.
depending with your risk, and then you pull the trigger. I'll be there to help you manage, rebalance, all that kind of stuff, but you are pulling the trigger. You're saying, hey, I don't like for example, I don't like Coke. I want to buy I'm more inclined to more high risky or rather high growth opportunities. So I'll buy Nvidia, for example, something like that. So my job is just to like coach you through it over the period of an entire year. So it's a 12-year relationship. You pay me an annual fee only when you're making money. So everyone here who's like working with, or rather I'm working with them, when they're making money, that's when they're like, okay, cool, this is now something that
Wait, so how do you have like a guarantee that they're gonna pay you, or how's the system?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a contract, so it's built on trust.
Hey, come on
Yeah.
now. No.
Yeah, it just has to, because that's
No,
the thing.
but no, I'm just saying, but like how people are like,
Yeah.
just if you know, and you've just been around with investment and all these other things, you understand there's also something that, there are these guys that I follow on YouTube, they're called ALAX.
Okay.
And it just tells you like how money affects people psychologically. Like even you, the same person you were probably 10 years ago now, you look and approach things very differently.
Oh yeah.
Emotional intelligence, completely differently. Somebody who's just starting off their portfolio, grows to 6-figure, you're not talking to the same person who's coming there humbly. And, it's just like, oh, help me. No. people do change.
Okay.
Money changes people.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the best or for the worst.
Yeah.
But so now, even if it's contractual, like, aren't you concerned about, like, maybe if you build like a portal of a lot of people, it's going to be like a headache dealing with them, especially if it's not integrated in your system where you're getting like automated commissions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I guess, I mean, at the end of the day, we'll figure it out when we get there because we're still not there, Kev and I. So the idea is just to, like, build this community of people who are decent people, people who, like, want to push their lives forward, make their lives better, but also make the lives of the people around them better. So we might differ on multiple things, but on principle, we're not.
Yeah.
So it's more like a community where people are like, hey, you know what? We're here together to grow, to help each other grow.
Yeah.
And as we grow, we will always look back at where we started from. If you started with $10, if you started with 100, if you started with 1,000 or whatever, and now you're up to 6 figures, for example, you've been with us for that long. So do you really want to, like, let go of the rope and be like, you know what, hey, these guys have gotten me to where I want to
people,
be?
I mean, listen, I just started
Yeah.
recently making money. I can't say, like, I've been making money. The most fun I've had is when I didn't have money.
Okay.
I'm telling you the truth. Like, I used to be so happy. But now everybody who approaches you when they know you have money, it's with an intention.
Okay.
Like, somebody's trying to sell you something. Somebody's trying to, like, let's say if I was to open my, like, 9 a.m., okay, this is you guys, but 9 a.m., my medical cover guy, and then there's, like, it's just like a list of somebody who needs, like, this is my car insurance guy.
Oh, yeah.
There's some chick who wanted, like, 12K urgently.
What?
Yes. Who else? Like, if I go to my missed calls, there's those, like, calls that come at night, and I just look at my phone and then I just put it this way. And I'm just like, you know what? Yeah. But I don't know if that's something that you've experienced, but that's what I'm saying. Money is very strange once you start, like, making a certain amount. Because if everybody's anybody, even a conversation, that's why it's like, now all of a sudden you're the funny guy.
Yeah.
People never used to laugh at your jokes.
Yeah.
Now this guy is so funny. This guy is so funny. Oh my God, this guy is so handsome. Yeah. But all those things, you start seeing them. That's what I'm saying. Like, even for somebody who's, like, just building a portfolio, by the time it gets to, like, 6 figure, you're talking to somebody whose mental has completely changed. How they view things, how they look at themselves. So, like, what vetting process? Do you have, like, any vetting process? Yes, I know you've said you want, like, a nice community that's built on trust and everything. But what's the vetting process? You wouldn't know. You don't know what kind of psychopaths want to make money.
For sure. I mean, for me, like, the whole process is always like, okay, cool. We'll get you onboarded. We'll do a discovery call. That's the beginning. Yeah. I get to understand your goals. I get to know you as a person first.
Yeah.
And for me, the thing that Kev and I are building here is just like, hey, you know what? Let's come up with a community of like-minded folks, people who are actually, not just, like, blinded by this whole concept of money. And you're looking at it as probably like a means to an end and not an end to a means, you know what I mean? Like, so basically, just bringing these people, I don't know how it's going to look like, to be quite honest, JT, to be quite, like, honestly, I don't know how it's going to look like. But the process is, we'll do a discovery call. I get to understand you. We start building out your portfolio after we've kind of, like, had the entire contractual agreement signed and all that. And everyone is happy. Then from there, like I said, it's a long-term thing. So if you're with someone for a year, you'll get to see who they are. Like, eventually, you'll see, okay, this is like this.
Yeah.
And the thing I like about the American culture is, you see the way you can fire an employee, you can also fire a customer. If you're not aligned on values, on principles and things like that, it's, you know what, deuces, bro, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. Yeah. We're leaving on good terms. You got what you wanted and what you paid for, and I was able to give you value at the end of the day. So that's the whole kind of like concept and idea. Maybe it's naive. I don't know. But the thing is, I'll only know once we
Hey,
get
listen, yeah, I'm just telling you, just prepare. Wait, in fact, even just I have a better question. What kind of car do you drive?
I drive a Benz.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it a black GLE outside? Okay.
Yeah.
You mean tell me you don't attract the wrong people?
Funny enough, I don't. It's
Really?
actually, honest to God truth, I really don't. I really have good friends, and this
What
is
do you mean?
like personally, like on a
What?
personal, even on like a personal relationship level, all the ladies that I've been with,
Yeah.
and it didn't work out. Shout out to them. Love you all.
Nobody tried to steal anything from you.
Nothing.
I've had people even steal like sausages and champagne from my house, man.
No, I have
Yo,
no experience with that.
I'm telling you, it's okay. So, but go on. You're just saying like, so you don't think you attract like wrong people, or you haven't experienced it?
I haven't experienced it. I haven't had anyone who's tried to like fleece me, rob me, finesse, whatever.
How?
In this Nairobi here, and
What?
even outside, I've just been lucky. I guess, but that's the thing. It's just mental energy and vibes, just attracting the right people. People. I've been to be quite honest. I'm really sorry if anyone is watching this and we were in a relationship together.
Yeah.
I apologize if I did some dumb shit and whatever. My apologies. It was on me. I was still young. I was stupid. Even right now, I'm still growing. But they were always the good ones. I was the one who was always fucking up. So yeah, that's just honest to God truth.
That's interesting, man. I'm just saying, like, that's a big advantage. But I'm just saying, like, even in the Kenyan market, you should think about, if we were to think about it, what do you think the average salary is?
For someone who's working at 95 in an organization.
Yeah, just in Nairobi. Let's just say Nairobi.
I don't know, maybe like $300, 400 average, I guess.
Say
it's like 50 G's.
No, 30,000 Kenya shillings.
Okay.
Probably there. So if you put into consideration, like, things like the expenses, you cut off like the rent. If somebody's doing like 10, 15, maybe because they want to be comfortable and safer, and that's on the lower side, of course.
Yeah.
You can't say like that guarantees you comfort. Neighborhood, not like the safest, not unless maybe you go to high-end neighborhood, but still now, maybe like a single room or something.
Yeah.
Put in like utilities and stuff. We're talking about like, other deductions that come up to close to 25,000 there.
Yeah.
They'll probably have 5 Gs remaining.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are living in desperation.
Yeah.
So even with interactions that you might think it's pure, somebody is still thinking about money 24/7. So if they find a place where they can take something, they will take it. So I'm just saying, because for my case, I'm just saying, like, I don't even eat in people's houses anymore.
Because?
Come on, I just don't. Maybe if I come with my own sandwich, I'm not eating in anyone's house.
Are you serious, bro?
Yes.
Like that's the thing. That level of trust where society, where we are at right now, oh my God, it's just unacceptable. We can't live like this.
Like I go, like there's a spread of chicken wings and stuff. No, I'm good.
No way. So you feel like they'll spike it or like
something.
Oh my God.
Hey, listen, you guys watch the news, right? You see old men who they have wives and because they have like farms and everything. There's a section where there are a lot of single moms who have just husbands who've disappeared or just died of mysterious circumstances.
Oh yeah. Okay, I saw that one.
So I can't just say I'm living with ignorance. Like in La La Land, nobody's going to do anything for me. If somebody knows you have something, that's what I'm saying. Like a majority of the people, let's be honest, they are living in desperation. And that's why you'll also see when we're having things like the protests.
Yeah.
Did you participate?
Hell yeah, I was there.
You were there?
Hell yeah. I wasn't going to miss that for nothing.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Dead ass.
I think you're just living with the angels everywhere you go by there.
I was there.
Because for my case, I was just like, hey, listen, I've built this portfolio.
Yeah.
There's no way. I'm not going anywhere in the front line to protest anything.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, hey, my portfolio is, it's building up. I don't want to be set as an example. And maybe I'm just paranoid, but I'm just taking precautions
which is good.
I'm just saying, so the way you're saying, like,
respectable.
You're moving, I think that's also commendable as well.
I appreciate
For me,
that.
I'm not eating people's houses, take extra precaution. I don't go out as much as I used to. Yeah, like I used to do, like on my Facebook days and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, those were the days.
I can't.
Yeah, those were the good days.
I can't get somebody getting me on a chokehold somewhere in an event. True.
Yeah.
I just take extra precaution now because I think also, like I told you, like the guys I follow, like on YouTube, they're called ALAX. Their channel is about training. It's not training. They say they build content for the future billionaires. Yeah. So they just tell you about how like relationships can be affected because of money.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, think about like even some of the richest people, like Bill Gates.
Yeah.
He built, you see what I'm talking about? He built a very, very huge portfolio. But when the divorce comes, half of your portfolio goes. And in fact, probably top 10 of the world's richest women, probably, they did get their wealth from their husbands.
Oh, yeah. Even I think, what's her name? Mackenzie Bezos as well.
Yes.
Did the exact same thing.
Yeah. Even like, let's say probably in, who's the richest, like, lady in Kenya?
Non-politician.
It doesn't matter, politician or not.
Richest lady. I don't know. The lady with the...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, another alert. Let's see. Bro, you should have held. Anyway, richest lady. I don't know.
Shouldn't be hard.
I don't know. Mama Ngina.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So like even we can say, like, them Zed did a lot of work, groundwork and everything. A lot of groundwork. And, when he left, like, the legacy, of course, which he did a good job as well, just holding the legacy and everything. But I'm just saying in general, like, if you're moving around, like as a guy, you should have like those ideas in mind as well. Because as much as you can say like, hey, listen, those women don't have like, bad intentions. But we've seen it with Jeff Bezos, we've seen it with Bill Gates, so many NFL players, basketball players who are specifically like targeted like just by women. Like, we have like the Brittany Renners who like, the other lady, like what's her name? Like we just have like a collection of like these MILFs who target like 18, 20-year-olds just because of money.
Exactly.
So we can't say like, money does not do. That's the reason probably most of them would be there.
Yeah, 100%. Now, you're absolutely right. And you think what you just said, like as a guy, being in that situation where you're seeing, sports figures, like an example, like Anthony Edwards, who, the baby mama, what she want, like child support. And he was like, how much is it? And then he just... Upfront. There you go, I'm done. With you, yes, I'm done.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. That was a trap.
Of course.
Yeah, that was a trap, 100%. So for me, I feel like if you're smart enough, some of these things you will involve a lawyer even before you like start seeing a ton of success come your way. And like things like prenuptials, those things you just cover your
prenups
behind.
Have to be there.
Yeah, you just have to be there because I mean I'm the one who's shooting in the gym, sweating my ass off, and then you just come here and just take half without doing anything.
Yes.
Nah, bro. Like to me, that's a no-go.
But you see, even now when I'm just reflecting it on you and then telling you like somebody getting half of your portfolio, now you're like, oh hey, hell no.
That's absolutely not.
So me not eating in people's houses is just taking precaution.
Okay.
It's just fair enough. It's just simply that because like I just don't know people's intentions anymore because like I was at this level. And then I started elevating, got to this place. And then unfortunately, like, you start attracting different people as well.
True.
But my old friends probably are still cool and everything. But new people, you now look at them like a little bit sideways. It's like, what do you really want?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, for me, I always just try to keep a low profile in this life. Kev here knows. I just do my own thing. If it's possible to, step out and all that, it's just keeping a really, really low profile. You wouldn't even know I'm there.
Okay, we'll come back to the portfolio.
Yeah.
But now what do you think about like even also the increase of like, Forex traders like in the country now. I have to ask because, for somebody who's having a very simple approach of buy, hold, it's going to gain value over time, compounding interest and everything. When we have Forex traders who are flipping like, they're saying they are making like, crazy amounts, who said, what's his name? Kenyan Prince said he made 40 million in one day. And I was just like, you know what? There is no way possible. I'm just trying to think of everybody that I've watched on YouTube. It makes no sense at all. In crypto, it might.
It might. Yeah.
But also for you to make the 40, it means you have a portfolio
a stake.
Of close to like $1 billion crypto.
Yep. You have a proper stake.
Yeah, proper. So that if we're talking about like 4, 5, 6, 7%, because let me just check like Ethereum, what the percentage has been over 24 hours. It's just heartbreaking, but...
Bro, look at those bars, just straight up. That's painful, man. I'm really sorry. Buy and hold, bro. That's the whole thing.
No, so I do have like bunch of ETH also like on the side. But I had taken 2 to just trade because I knew Federal Reserve meeting is just about to happen. So I'm like, with these 2, I'm just trying to buy as low as possible because I know it's going to shoot up in like less than 24 hours. So none of my targets hit for buying. None.
Bro, but...
And then it went...
such a rookie mistake,
bro. It went just like... Phew.
Bro, unless you have Jerome Powell's number, the Fed chair.
Yeah.
Then that's when you can be able to like, okay, you know what? I'll sell before he speaks.
No.
Because I know what he's going to say.
No, I'll tell you something interesting. And then you can also tell me like if it applies on your... Do you use AI at all to research on stocks, how they're moving?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what I did is I was doing something called, it's called like a trailing stop.
I know trailing stops, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I go to ChatGPT. I give it like my, just the market of ETH, how it's doing in the last 24 hours. And then I ask like, what's the analysis of the market today? And if the Fed is about to have a meeting in the next 48 hours, what would be the best positions for buying if I'm using trailing stops? So I'm at 70. My personal target is buying at 17. So ChatGPT says like, according to everything that it's seeing, I could try and buy at around 18 something. Like, it didn't make any sense because the trailing stop was talking about like me buying at 1800. I'm like, but we're at 17, so I'm trying to get lower. So if anything, it's like 1698 or something. But like, the first, I asked for 3 options. Told me like 18 something, 17, 89 there. And I'm like, ain't no way because we're at 17.
Oh, yeah.
So it's prone to go down.
Yeah.
Bruh.
And
I should have followed ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Because actually the data that it gave me was like almost like, because it said like might spike, but you might not lose out. And then it just like, even if it shoots now when it goes down to 1 point, what do we call it? Like the difference of the percent. If it goes down a certain percent, just sell and take out the profits.
Yeah.
So it gave me the exact, and it even gives you like the table and everything. I did not follow that. So I put close to like, I divided the ETH into like 4 bits.
Okay.
Quarters. None of them hit.
Damn.
None of them hit. But like whatever chat, if I just followed, now I'd have been up like probably 700, 800.
Yeah, just by in a matter of a day.
When we're doing this podcast.
Exactly.
Now I've just lost out on that. And then I don't know if I'll wake up tomorrow, we're at 5,000 on ETH, so.
You never know. So that's why I'm like saying this whole principle for me, like how I do it is like, number one, I don't try to time the market. I'll get in on a price where I feel it's fair. If it's a fair value price.
But how do you know though?
For stocks, it's super easy because you can use discounted cash flow calculators, predict like basically time value of money for the company price right now, 10 years into the future. And then you see if you're buying it at a discount based on the growth rate. So like there's so much in terms of like data and information you
but
can
it
get.
can provide information that's reliable for you to make a decision.
100%, because I'm giving it data, historical data, 10K forms, the filings where companies like say, this is how we performed this year, this is how we performed in 2022, 2021, all the way back even until the beginning of the company when they started. Sorry, not the beginning of the company, when they got listed on the NYSE, for example. So I have that information, and I use AI to just distill, just help me get a trend of where we're going.
Summarize it,
summarize it. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't have to read all those pages.
Yeah.
So that's an idea that I use AI. But back to your first question. Basically, oh gosh, what was it again?
Now I'm also
yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks.
Thanks. Yeah. So 40 million in a day.
In one day. And I was just like, it's just, my concern was how he said it with a straight face. Because I had to go online and just like, I'm just trying to think and calculate, like, how is this even possible?
Click farming, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Engagement farming, which is good. No hate to that dude. No hate to that guy. I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that he's doing for himself, and if he is making that kind of money, good for him.
No, 40 is crazy, man.
Yeah, no way. 40 million, like that's hedge fund
I need
bank
to see
level.
That portfolio. That's what companies report as profits.
Exactly. And crazy. You want to tell me this individual with a phone, armed with a phone, and probably a laptop, can beat these? I don't know.
I don't think it's possible.
That's the same thing. So for me, like, I can come here and show you my portfolio confidently and show the audience and the viewers right now, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's some positions I'm actually down. So if they're able to do the same thing and back it up with data,
40 is crazy.
Then I'll be like, you know what, bro, you're actually winning. I don't even know why you're in this country.
Yeah.
You should be in Dubai.
You need to be in Dubai. Actually, Dubai is the minimum you should be.
That's the minimum.
Yeah.
You should be in Dubai. You should be driving Lambos.
Yep.
You should be with all the Latinas that usually just come there to just,
Russians, Ukrainians.
Yeah, man, you shouldn't be hanging out with us. We're not the same level.
I'm just trying to see and calculate probably USD is at 130.
Let's say 130.
$300,000
in a day. I'm telling you, bro. Like, if someone is making 300K a day,
that's crazy, man. Come on,
bro. You should. I wouldn't even be here. JT,
it makes no sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here. Doing what here?
Yeah. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about, bro?
You could be advising like stakeholders in companies, banks, and everything.
100%. They will want my services. And they'll pay top dollar. If I'm making 300K, I'll be like, you know what? To work with me for a month, minimum, half a million dollars.
Yeah,
minimum. This is the starting.
Yeah, because I can push that.
I can push that. So if you give me more money, I'll make 300,000, 300 million.
And I think that's the thing. Like, even for your case, I wanted to ask. So I'm guessing you're not. I had in my mind, I thought you're almost like a day trader.
No.
So I think that's good just for you to clarify, because I'm seeing like now your approach is more conventional and much, much safer. Yeah,
super, super long term. I don't even listen to whatever it is going on in the news, because I know this is just like noise.
It will cloud your judgment.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking at it, but I have to like stay away from it, because now I'm just like, let me just... Because with crypto, we have like those extreme volatilities, which I'm guessing in the stock market, it just doesn't happen like that.
It does. It does as well. But when you look at it like, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, if you like, say, for example, even if you zoom out that ETH chart to like 5 years, whatever it is that happened today is like this small.
Yeah.
It's just a small thing in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. And that's exactly how I approach my investment philosophy. I'm going to buy something because I can see there is data to back it, and this company is trending in the right direction. They're making good decisions.
Yeah.
They're making money as well. And from there, their trajectory is expected to grow at this rate. So I want to be an owner in that company because they're doing well, and they will pay me back in terms of like my money will appreciate, and I'll also possibly get dividends.
Yeah.
If I get that, I'm winning on two fronts without having. I just work once, and that's it.
Okay. Now another thing I have to ask, because it's just been slipping my mind over and over again, because you've mentioned dividends a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
So how does it work with stocks? Because like for what I would call dividends in bonds, it's payouts after every 6 months. So how does it work in stocks?
In stocks, it's every 3 months, every quarter.
Oh, every quarter.
Every quarter when a company does earnings and they report they're gonna give a dividend, every quarter you're gonna get money into your account.
Bank account.
No, on the
platform
account. Yeah,
okay.
you get the money. If you want to withdraw 100%, you can go ahead and do it.
Oh, but now the dividends come separately, I'm guessing, from your holdings.
Yeah, that will come. So if you want to like go, it'll come into your kind of like cash portfolio, like an account.
Yeah.
So it'll go there, and then it'll be like, okay, cool. You have X amount, that just got added into your cash portfolio. So if you want to reinvest,
you can cash or take the profits.
Yes.
Oh,
you can do
this
that.
This is interesting.
Yeah. So that's the whole concept of it. And on top of that as well, and this is why I say it's so cool. As an owner of a company, you get emails, text messages. We're having an AGM.
Yeah.
As an owner, you have the right to come in. We're having elections for the board. Who do you want to vote for?
Wait, you can participate?
Yes, you can.
What?
Yes.
Hey, listen.
Let me see if I can get that email.
Listen. I mean, this is... so I hope, like, guys always ask me so many times, like, okay, so how can we approach this? So I think, like, for somebody like you to come to the platform, very, very informative. Because I think the one thing that a lot of people miss out on is just the knowledge of doing these things. And I would say also, like, just look at right now with content creation.
Yeah.
Your average Kenyan, their aim is always just to get, like, an iPhone and upgrade like almost every year.
Yes.
And that's why you see like payment plans and everything now they're available like in Kenya. But I'm just guessing. So now it means if you can afford an iPhone and even make payment plans, you should be able to afford to put something like in an investment portfolio.
Yeah. As you check that out, that's an email I got from one of the companies I own.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you can vote. But to come back to
like vote now.
Yeah, vote.
Okay.
Vote for the person that you want or the direction that you feel like we need to take as a company. Your voice actually counts as an owner.
Okay.
So what you're just saying about influencers, and this is something that I wanted to like talk to. Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. Like I had a crush on one of them. I'm not gonna mention her name, but she's light skinned. So yeah,
you know yourself.
you know yourself. But I just wanted to challenge. I was like, you know what? The whole idea of you making money is great, fantastic. But what if, as part of your arrangement, if possible with this company, just ask them, pay me X amount, and then the rest pay me in equity. Give me an ownership stake in your company.
Yeah.
Just heck, even it's like 1% or 0.1%.
Give me something.
Just have that discussion with all your clients and just see. Maybe one will say yes. And that makes you an owner, which means that you can actually enjoy the profits for that company as long as it's working and it's doing well in the long term. So that was just something I learned from LeBron. When you want him to come into and do something for your brand,
give me something from the company.
Give me a
ownership.
Stake. Give me an ownership stake as well. Let me be an owner. Let me be a decision maker. Let me also give you access to, the pool of people that I work with to help to push the company forward so that we have joint success together. So that's that. But the mentality here in Kenya, of course, is like, hey, nipatie zangu mi nikanyage.
I swear. That's just the thing. And
that's just how it is. But if you're working with a massive brand, I mean, like for me, if I was like working with, I don't know, Safaricom or
Coca-Cola, because we see those endorsements, we see them. But nobody thinks about like
just give me a small stake. Like give me some shares in this company.
Like I'll send the finance team like an email, and then like they can tell me like if I can get X% or pay me in what would you call it? Pay me in stocks or pay me in equity. But don't even take cash. So it's called equity, right?
Yeah, equity.
Yeah, pay me in equity instead of cash.
Yes.
Now when you start talking that way, I think by the end of the year you'll be in a very good position.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's not even for now; it's for the long term.
Long term.
Yeah, which means that even if your kids come, they're kids, and that stick is still within the family.
Yeah,
they're good. They're taken care of.
Especially like considering somebody's paying you X amount, and then now you start receiving dividends. Oh Lord.
Bro, I'm telling you, those dividends.
Nothing can beat that, because unfortunately now, as we're talking, we have like just the influencer culture, like even right now in the country. A lot of people are making money in so many different ways. But then again, the lack of financial literacy. What am I looking at?
This right here. This was when?
Oh, for
March 26th.
For Safaricom PLC.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this is
joy. Is this yours?
This is mine.
So how do you do the Safaricom ones?
Same thing I do the US ones.
Come on, man. But with a local platform?
With a local platform from Stanbic.
Oh, from Stanbic.
Yeah, Stanbic Bank have a platform.
Okay, now I'm in StanChat. I can't just keep having like different bank accounts. I can ask my relationship manager.
Just ask.
Yeah.
If they offer. But for me, I feel like Stanbic have a good platform. It has better UI in the market right now to be able to buy Kenyan stocks.
What's UI?
User interface, basically how you interact with the platform. It's not the best, but
you can check like let me check for StanChat. For StanChat, I just use it maybe for bonds, of course, and come on, let's see if it's open. I thought like even for me, I was just intrigued with StanChat because I could go and see bonds that are available and stuff, but I didn't know about like I didn't inquire if you can have like local stocks like in your app, because I think there's some things maybe that can be included.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me see. I want to see if I can be able to pull out that information.
But you can see like the local stocks and the prices.
100%.
And can you buy directly through the app? Or how do you buy it?
Yeah, you buy actually from the app itself.
You can buy it from there?
Yes. So my StanChat account is basically for transferring money in from if I've a capital appreciation and stuff like so. Literally, this is February. Don't worry about the reds. Of course, I was spending.
No. Yeah.
So this came from after I took some profits from some of the companies.
Yeah.
That's one. Which another one here? Let me show you.
Jeez.
This is also another one. Same thing. As you can see, eToro Money UK Limited, blah blah blah. That amount just cashed out on that. Then there's this one here.
So that's when you're removing from the platform and then to
it comes to my account.
Okay.
Like that.
So this is what's the company? Or it just shows like
it just said eToro Money UK.
Oh, from
Limited.
eToro.
Yes, from eToro. So
but like you said, we can't use eToro, right?
Yeah, right now you're limited in.
So how comes you're using eToro?
Because I joined early before they left the country.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Before they left, I was
but your account is still like you can still use
100%. Yes.
Man. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so like now for StanChat, I was just talking about like bonds. You can see like the bonds and whatever you want to get into, you can just also buy directly.
7.25%.
And then you can call
your RM.
Yeah, my RM, and then she'll do like the follow-up. Like you see now we have this one, the 18% one.
Yeah, so okay. For 2,649 days, that's like how many years? Almost close to like 10 years.
10 years. Yeah. Because maturity, you're talking 2032.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's good. That coupon rate is nice, yeah.
Because I'm just thinking like, think about if you have like, the best thing about even like what you're doing and just like digital assets that are tied to the dollar, when it's paid and converted to Kenyan shillings.
That's why I don't touch the bonds, because I'm looking at the currency strength as well. I'm like, if I can do this in USD, then I'm also kind of like winning a bit on the FX changes.
Actually, by the time you exchange as well, the profit.
So
if you hit 40% and then dollar rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. So guys, like I said, I think in like a week, I should have like an open account so that I can also just like be a participant. So I don't know how it works. So what's the first step for somebody like me?
Oh yeah.
What would be the first step?
For sure. So
and you didn't even say like, what your commission is. That's like really important information for people.
Yeah, no, for sure. For me right now, it's just a flat fee. Like I said, just low barrier to entry for people who are interested in transforming their finances and actually being owners as opposed to being consumers.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to work with me, more than happy to, set up a call, introductory call, so that we can talk like, individuals. I get to understand your goals, your risk level.
My goal is just to make money.
There's a reason why you want to make the money. Is it to buy a Ferrari? Is it to move? Is it to be able to like?
So that you just personal goals again. That's why.
Goals. Yes. Mm-hmm. So that from there, that's when I can be like, okay.
Yeah.
With this, in the back of my mind, I have the timelines, initial timelines.
Yeah.
Then from there, I'll give you a questionnaire. You'll just fill out. It'll automatically tell me your risk profile.
Okay.
After that, that's when now we start. I'm like, okay, cool. This and this is your risk profile. This is what I recommend. So for you, already have bonds, so you're diversified. So it's just now an additional thing now.
Yeah. I have crypto as well.
You have crypto as well, which is risky as well.
Crazy risky.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything else that can scare me after the crypto.
Crypto
we've
is
gone
hella
through,
risk.
Like, I'll let you go back to what you're saying, but like our worst case scenarios, like even for this, kind of stressing me a bit because I'm like, that was just a silly move because I knew what I was supposed to do and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But, by the time the FTX guy messed up like the whole crypto market, he got arrested.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean,
what's his name? Sam something.
Sam Bankman.
Friedman.
Friedman.
Yeah.
SBF. People just call. But this is somebody like the whole company was sponsoring like even NBA games and everything.
Yeah.
And messed up everything for so many different people. But at the time, I remember like Ethereum were going to like 4,000 or something, close to 4,000. Yeah. Wow. So remember we are heading towards 4,000. So I remember I'm just telling my friend like, bruh, like next year, because we're talking about like towards, I think, December, January. So I'm just telling my friend like, bruh, I'm telling you this year, it's about to go like nuts.
Yeah.
Because if we're heading to 4,000, I'm projecting 8 to 10,000, and even how everybody else is talking by the end of the year. That thing happened. Our like Ethereum dropped to, because my biggest holding is on ETH. ETH dropped to 900.
I'm just gonna say, JT, man. If I was big on crypto, I'd be buying. If at 900, I'm buying.
No. But at the time, how it happens. Like it happened when everybody's holding because we're waiting to get to 8,000.
Yes.
So it happens. Everybody like if your portfolio has already been shattered to close to like 80% down. There is no money to go back in.
True.
Even if you want to, because nobody had cashed out. Like, of course, there are people who had like now that that's where Warren Buffett would just come rubbing his hands like
man,
this.
He'd be like, this is it.
Like you guys have been complaining. It's time for me to save you.
It's time for me to come in. When you're fearful, that's when I'm greedy.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I mean, like, so after something like that happens in crypto, like everything else just becomes almost like numb. So you don't really get over heartbroken if like the market is completely down. We kind of like we've already stormed like the craziest weather, and that was just SBF. I don't think we can go anywhere worse than what that guy did.
Never know.
Listen, okay, maybe I might speak too soon.
You never know with these things.
I might speak too soon.
Yeah.
But also like another thing, before go back to the last thing, about the trailing stop, limit orders, stop
losses.
All those things that you incorporate. Or how do you... When is the right time for you to take profits? If I was to simplify that question.
Yeah, so for me, okay, so let me start from the beginning. So
and also, just before you answer, because I know we have dividends as well.
Oh, yeah.
Dividends are will come to your account regardless, right?
Regardless.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you balance taking out like just dividends, and how can you cash in a bit extra of like profits to liquidate and just like
Yeah, like you've
what
just
strategy do you use for collecting profits?
100%. So for me, it's always annual and then quarterly rebalancing. So rebalancing means I will some positions will probably have tremendous gains. Tremendous gains, and I'll be like, okay, cool. This is now slightly tilting my portfolio towards that. I'm more exposed in that company, in that sector. So for me, I will trim it back. I'll take some of that money. Now, either I can take it and put it in my pocket, or I can reinvest in another company that I feel has also a potential to grow to grow a bit higher from where it is right now. So that's what rebalancing is all about. Just moving money to laggards, if I can call them that, or putting some money in my pocket. That's when I'll take profit. So that's a quarterly exercise. And then towards the end of the year, that's when now I'll look at the total returns of the entire portfolio and be like, okay, this year I've been able to return X percent. What do I want to do? Do I want to like cash out a bit, maybe spoil myself or do something, or do I still want to hold and just let that money continue compounding on its own? So that's when the whole decision comes in. It's usually a calendar date. Yeah. So that's how it is.
No, I'm just, you know what? Let me go to the other questions that I had written down.
Okay.
First of all,
say nothing.
because the thing is, are you always in the country 24/7? How is your availability? Because I see you traveling in and out.
Yeah, in and out. It's
spoiling yourself a lot.
I mean, the whole idea is just to be like, whatever it is that your money is working for you. So I don't have to get into my pocket to enjoy myself. Probably it'll just be like little money here and there. Yeah, because it's the one that's sweating and doing all the hard work. I can take some of it and just enjoy it and just be a human being, you know, that kind of thing. So,
So how much time do you spend in the country?
It depends on the season, to be quite honest. Like now we're going into July. I know I might want to like run away for a while.
Why? Oh, because it's cold.
Because it's cold
and it's summer outside.
Yes, and that's when like. But the thing is, like, when now you go outside, you can't stay for too long because you're gonna spend a lot more. It's too much fun. It's so much fun out there. So you're like, okay, cool. Let me just do a quick one, maybe 2 weeks, come back. And then just kind of like
now
decompress. And then I'll build from there.
Another thing, also just through the platform, because like on Forex and crypto, there's leveraging and stuff. Like, is that something that's possible in? Or is that something you stay away from?
Yeah, I stay away from leverage, and I have a proper story. So I hope you're watching this, Steve. I still owe you $50. We were trying to do an experiment with him. And we started off on his portfolio with $50, and I can show you. And my goodness, leverage is just, it is amazing when it's working in your favor. And then when it turns around, it will bite you hard. So
and I think I've always been like those people, like, I'm just not touching leverage because I think this will just wipe me out, because now you're kind of like getting your feet in gambling now.
Yes, that is gambling.
Pure gambling.
Yeah. So let's check this out. Yeah, let's zoom in. So we started off with $50. We bought some companies, hasn't shown here. But we started off like that. He made 62 cents that day. That was the 19th of March this year. But the same day, 19th of March, he was up $2.56 from 62 cents. Same day, I think he closed at $5.39. So on a $50 account, he's made $5. This is insane. Sorry. So I think he was just showing me the floating P&L. So this one was like $7. The following day, 24th, it was $9. This is the
is that the same $7 added $2 more or another? Now
yes,
$7?
Yes. It's just
now it's now to $9.
Yes, it's now up to $9. Okay. So we got all the way up to $21. This is 50% return. On his $50 investment. And yes, he was going crazy with leverage. And
that's leverage.
Yeah, this was leveraged. So we got all the way up to $29, close to 60% return on $50. And then, unfortunately, Trump and what he was doing in the market, and the noise. And this is the thing. That's why I don't like trading. I think, so Couple of days later, 31st of March, you were already in the negative. So
now you see such
yeah,
things,
yes.
and it's crazy because now, and I think I've always told like some of my friends, like, I can't. It gets to a point where if you build a portfolio like quite well, there's some gambles you can't take because you're not like now. You don't have like $50 to be wiped out in your account. You have a couple of M's that will be
Yes.
wiped in your account. So do you want to wake up in the morning and actually tell yourself that, you've lost like 2-3 M?
Yeah.
But you'd have done so many other different things.
So many other different things. So you have to have the appetite for it, to be quite honest. So for him, like I said, it was just like an experiment.
Yeah.
Because I told him, like, hey, you know what? The best thing is always just to do 1-to-1. Take no leverage. Don't borrow any kind of money.
Yeah, just let it use like whatever you have,
whatever
right?
it is that you have. Living in your means type thing.
Okay, so leveraging, no. Okay, and I wouldn't do it anyway.
Oh my goodness!
I think what was your biggest mistake, probably like in just stock portfolio as you are learning and just getting to know the ropes? Like, do you have like a major big flop or something that you just did like mistake close to that?
Yeah, 100%. I also used leverage early in the beginning, and I never used to buy companies based off of data. It was just like technical analysis. I'm like, this candlestick is looking nice. Let me buy this one.
Yeah,
and it's just arbitrarily. I'll just pick any company. But right now, it's a more research-based approach. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy out of just to get high quality companies. But once you do it, you just believe in yourself. I don't listen to the news. I will only read what the company reports and what the Securities Exchange Commission is saying in terms of that company. I'll give you an example. Last year, there was a company after this whole AI boom with NVIDIA.
Yeah.
So people were buying NVIDIA. But there was a company that supplies NVIDIA with cooling racks.
Okay.
Oh my God. JT, I'm not even going to lie to you. This company, in the span of a year, returned, just guess how much it returned in a percentage price, a capital appreciation.
100%.
No.
200.
No.
More. It can't be more than 300. Wait, more?
More.
10,000.
Okay, you've got to
Because now I'm just like, because I'm just like, no, what the hell is going on? Okay, like 1,000?
1,361%. That is 136. If you put in $100, you get times 136.
Okay, so now, like even the way you've said, like just with research and stuff, because I've heard this like even in like podcasts, and I think the best thing is like now just having information to understand on investing like in international stocks. That's just something that I was trying to get like the right person who has that information, and not just the right person, like people who look like people who are still edgy.
Yes.
Because when we talk about finance nowadays, when you start talking about serious things, we're already used to like the old suits, an old guy explaining so many different things to you that makes it so difficult for you to. But like now, when it's somebody who's still young and they know about all these different ropes, it makes perfect sense for somebody to actually jump into like even just the industry.
Yeah.
So like just even how do you pick or source of information for you to just be able to make the right decision? Because you help people with portfolio, like even but did you miss out on that thing, and how easy is it to pick like something like that's unique, that's gonna give you like crazy
returns?
Yeah.
I mean, it's they do come about once in a while. You'll find them, and the good thing about it is that there are tools. You have AI right now to help you with that. But in the entire universe of the stocks in the entire world right now, there's some companies that are popping up on radars. And, there are tools out there like screeners that can help you see what the whole lay of the land is like. And then that starts as your basis for research.
Yeah.
So I'll give an example. So right now, I was actually looking at Barclays last week. And this is Barclays PLC, the one in UK.
UK?
Yes. Not ABSA.
Yeah.
So I was able to see, let me come back here.
That's
Let me
still,
pick it.
wait, is that now eToro or the other platform?
That's a different platform, just to help me, get this information.
Get
Yes.
info. Okay.
Yes. So Barclays, let's look at it. Let's look at it year-to-date returns. So from the beginning of the year till today, it's up 23%. But of course, there was a big dip here.
Yeah.
There was a big dip. But still, to date, it's returned 23%. If we look at it on a year, that's 52. Look at 5 years, 210. So that's what I'm saying. Like, buying and holding always seems to make sense for me.
Okay, now, so still back to the buying and holding, right? Because there's some information that I just need to get right first of all. I know there's some people like it might pass by them, but for me, I have to make it just to make sure that I understand. If you're making like the 200, is it like 200% or let's just do 20 maybe?
Yes.
If you're making the 20% annually, is that what goes into your principal, or is that what you paid as dividends?
That goes into your principal. Your money has earned $20.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you'll still get paid dividends.
You still get paid dividend if that company pays dividends. If it pays dividends on top of that.
Yeah, like for the companies, if you've picked companies that pay dividends, so and they get like a 20%, it will go to your principal, and you'll still get dividends.
100%.
Jeez.
Yeah. So you're earning 2 times.
Hey.
Yeah. So I think that's the whole
what
beauty.
What have I been doing with my life? What have I been doing?
That's the beauty of just equities. And that's why like billionaires, you'll find them, they'll have a team of people to just do this for them.
Yeah. And they'll never go broke.
They can never.
It's impossible.
It's so difficult.
What do you think is like an amount if you get to, and you're just making like the right investment like placements, like choosing the right stock and everything? Like if you just had X amount, you'd be set for life in Kenya.
In Kenya, just anybody.
Yeah. Like what would be like a personal target? Like, okay, if I had this principal amount of money and put it like here in the next like 5 to 10 years, it would have gained to this, and I don't really need to work anymore.
In Kenya right now, I would say maybe, I don't know, quarter ticket, like $250,000. That's a good start. That's a good place.
So like
30 M? Like 30 million. If you have 50, you're okay. Like you can do a lot with 50 in terms of like getting that money to work for you, and then you don't have to wake up to go to work. You just go to work for fun. For example.
You just do what you love now.
What you love, because things are just gonna be taken care of.
Okay.
And one thing also as well is that now with the system, thank God we are in a capitalist system, is you can use your portfolio to go and spend other people's money.
What do you mean?
Literally, the way it is with the banking system, which is so interesting, is all I have to do is show that I have a portfolio with money that I can be able to access. Yeah. And I can go to your bank, and I'm not even in your bank. Yeah. I can tell them I want money.
Oh, actually, okay. Yeah, I get that part.
And they will give it to me.
Yeah, because you do have like, a track record of like, good business decisions.
Exactly. So they are more likely to trust you with money as opposed to someone who probably is even borrowing on a salary or something.
Okay, and then now that makes more sense because of like even how rich people borrow money. Because at times you hear people like they've borrowed X amount, but it makes so much sense now that, especially if you know where you're placing your money.
Yep.
If it's not like a gamble, because definitely crypto, you really need to know what you're doing.
You really do.
You have to, because like, if you're borrowing money to get into crypto and then you're supposed to pay it back and, like we're having like these extreme crashes here and there, it might not be like the best decision. But I'm guessing if you're putting it like in something like a portfolio where you've calculated the difference and when the dividends are coming in, how the payouts are normally going to be, it's easy for you to use that backing to like still make extra money or play with extra amount of cash. That makes so much sense.
For sure. That's why like even like people like let's use an example of, I'm just guessing here, this is just me shooting from my hip, but I think like someone like Peter Munga, he's been on the paper for a while. Like, oh, he has. I think he's one of the biggest shareholders in Equity Bank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
That guy. You'll find like he has issues with debt. Like you'll see, oh, such and such, he's struggling with debt. But when was it? Just the other day, he bought another stake in equity. And this is someone who is quote unquote in debt.
Yeah, but they deal with so much money.
They deal with so much money. So he'll be like, cool, I'm in debt, yes, but look at what I own. I own, I don't know, 10, 15% of Equity Bank.
Yeah. So I can still pay you guys slowly.
Yeah,
but like let's have a conversation.
Yeah, let's have a conversation. Yeah, because if you want me, like if you want to like get it, you can get it.
Yeah, because this is a business strategy. It's not like, borrowing money to just,
100%. Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I think, one of the things that, I came to learn much later, is that these billionaires, they'll never spend their money. Their money is working for them. They'll go to the bank and be like, hey, I need a line of credit, 200, 300, maybe $400 million. And then I'll buy a yacht. I'll go do all the crazy stuff. But with your money, not mine.
But I think also like a good thing is now knowing how to use, and that I've had people like also talking about, is like knowing how to use debt, because a lot of people would take loans to actually now finance things like cars, lifestyle inflation, and all those things. But if you just know how to, if you're borrowing money and putting it in the right things, clearly it can pay itself off, because you also almost like, should I use the word leveraging, like what you have? It is that, because you're 100%. Leveraging like what you have, but you're getting extra money here to make you like more extra money.
For sure.
And still pay it back. So I think just knowing how to use loans is so important. And then also if we were to talk about like traditional ways of investments, I'm always talking to people about that. Okay, and I'll ask, because people have come to the podcast and I've asked them, and I was just like, hey, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So would you buy land and would you buy property with the knowledge that you have now, with assets that you can move, liquidate, and just play with over back and forth? Would you still invest on land or property right now with the knowledge that you have?
With cash, my own money.
Yeah, your own money.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, you've heard it, guys.
Absolutely
you see,
not. I would never.
I'm always telling people, it's like, I need to buy a piece of land, or I need to build a house. And I'm telling people, like, no, don't do it.
First and foremost,
so
like,
what's your reasons?
Yeah, like, what is the rate of appreciation of land? What is the rate of appreciation of property right now? And when you think about it like that, you're literally, your money is tied up in an opportunity that is making, I don't know, base figures.
Yeah.
So, like, whatever it is that you're doing with the bond is way better.
Way much better.
Way better, because you're getting 18%.
Yeah.
Annually. How much is land appreciation? And then on top of that, what's the liquidation process like?
Exactly. I'm always telling people, do you know if you have an emergency?
An emergency, you need money.
Now.
If right now, if I have an emergency right now,
liquidate something from my portfolio.
I'll liquidate that position.
Yeah.
By tomorrow, tomorrow is Saturday. By Monday, I have my money.
Oh wait, it takes that long with stocks?
It just takes.
Oh, okay, not
2 days.
No, not like.
Because tomorrow is like Saturday.
I'm not just saying that. Okay, it takes that long for. I'm from a different world.
Okay.
In crypto, if I'm liquidating now,
you'll get it now.
If let's say, not unless I want, what's my maximum M-Pesa is like 500.
Okay.
Like if I need 500 now, less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
If I need 1M today and tomorrow, I just have to wait for past midnight to do the other 500. But I do have like an M, in less than, it's there literally, but maybe it's just because of the M-Pesa thing. But I can still do like account if I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So for me, it's account, and that will take a day.
Okay. Because processing.
Yeah. They'll process, it'll be in the account maybe by Monday. Right now, if I was to do it and then the market opens, the thing liquidates, my account ninis, that will be by Monday before midday.
Okay. Yeah. Now another thing I have to ask about is like now looking at all like legal aspects, right? Because like let's say one thing. No, it's all good. It's another thing is like most people, like there's a thin line right now where people don't understand, like, okay, doing stocks, doing crypto, doing Forex, if it's legal or not. People who don't know. People who don't know. But is there an approach of, like, when you're doing all these things, you're including social economic ties where you're declaring your taxes and stuff? And what's the tax for, like, doing stocks?
Yeah, that is a fantastic question. And I'll take it in two parts. I'll talk about taxes and I'll talk about fees as well.
Okay.
So let's start with Kenyan stocks. So Kenyan stocks, NSE, blah, 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 you will pay 15% capital gains tax. But that is, I think, at withdrawal. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I really don't pay attention, but you will pay 15%. But the US stocks, there's a little bit of leeway.
Okay.
You don't have to declare and
Okay.
pay. I hope Carry people aren't listening.
No.
Now,
Here's the thing. Because the reason why we're discussing about this is because, like, even I've had, like, a friend who does accounts, and I don't want to say which company he works for, but he knows about companies, numbers, and taxes. But he was just telling me, like, there's still no clear rules. They're yet to be done or proposed to me.
Okay.
The same way you can say, like, there's a company that's still outside, like, it was here and it's no longer here. Like, so the rules that they would have in that company don't apply because they're not here.
They're not here.
So another thing I would say, like, even for, like, something like crypto, how we're doing it, and that's like, because you can't say it's not legal because you're not paying taxes, yet M-Pesa is on Binance.
So you're actually getting some kind of tax.
Because it means Safaricom and Binance have had a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So they are getting their cut regardless.
Yeah, so makes sense.
It's just because, like, and I think that's why is it the president or who talked about this? They said the proposed tax for crypto was around 4%. Proposed.
That is
proposed. It's not yet laid down because, like, there is no structure.
There's no structure. How are you gonna find out this income was from crypto?
There is no structure.
It's so difficult.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
So before the structure is there, hey, you need to make your money because I think once they understand exactly how, like, you know, and that's why I'm telling you, Forex traders need to chill, by the way.
Yeah, they need to stop flexing.
Because when you're saying some certain crazy numbers, they might actually start thinking that, oh, it's actually true. And let's just be honest, it's not true.
It is definitely not true. I don't believe it.
I think for standard crypto traders, like, you know, they have their Telegram groups.
Yep.
And, you know, the guys who are selling bots, the guys who are selling signals, it's just very easy math. And I've just been saying it, like, even since last year. If somebody has, like, even let's say just 2,000 people who are paying like $20 for a signal, which won't hurt you if you're trying to get a signal that will, you know.
Yeah, that's like $40K.
That's 40,000, right?
US.
Yeah, US. And then multiply it.
That's a CEO's salary.
Yeah. So if we do like a quick math here, we multiply by 130.
Yeah, let's do 130. That's a CEO. Yeah, you don't need.
Yeah.
You don't need to.
So you don't need to trade.
Yeah,
literally. You're using people's money to 100%. Just, like, you know, feed yourself, flex, get the lifestyle and everything. So I think that's where, like, there's a lot of people who are trying to learn. I don't want to say scammed because you won't really feel like you're being scammed if somebody's asking you for $20.
Yeah, you'd be like,
hey, just give me $20. I'll send you 4 signals in a month.
Yeah.
3 might not work, 1 might work.
Yeah.
Have nothing to lose. And the person on the other end is making like good tax-free.
Tax-free. You shouldn't even be here.
Tax-free.
You shouldn't even be in Nairobi.
But that's why I'm saying, like, you know, for most people who, like, understand their numbers and they're in the market, I think it's very easy to look at somebody and it's like, yo, come on, you're joking. That's not how you've made your money. That's not how you've made your money. But you can still enjoy a lifestyle by selling people like a dream.
Exactly. Sell them a dream.
It's like, you know, even how pastors do it. I'm always giving people an example.
Yeah.
It's like, you've had a congregation, you have a TV show, radio show,
and
you're telling people to send like 300 shillings. You have 5,000 people. Easy money.
Easy.
Easy
Every
money.
Sunday.
Easy money.
Every
Guaranteed.
Sunday. Guaranteed.
I won't feel like, 300 is a lot,
Yeah.
but the whole population of people who are sending the amount,
Yeah. Game of numbers.
good numbers for that
sure.
person.
For sure.
So that now going back to the tax thing,
Yeah.
I was just saying like for crypto, there's still no clear structure on how people should pay that. But the proposed was 4%. But they've proposed it's because they still don't know how to go about it.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Which might still take like, I think more than 10 years probably.
Probably even more. I mean, it's because the rate of pace of technological advancement in the West,
super fast.
Yeah, it's just mad fast.
Super fast.
And we're already on the back foot, so now catching up is going to take a long
Training
time.
people with all these new things, it's impossible.
Yeah, it's so difficult to do. It's going to take so much investment in time and capital. But like what you just said, so for taxes, like for US tax, the US stocks, whenever I'm like now liquidating, I just pay the transaction fee, which is $5, and I get my money as is. Okay, so now another different thing, because you travel a lot, right? Like for my case, for the first time when I was able to get like just a visa to travel, go Europe and stuff, I remember previously it's when even in SA you had to apply for like a visa. Yeah. There's some people who don't know that.
No.
Yeah.
Then you had to, and then I remember like just going to the visa office and stuff. It's like, I've been invited for this gig, and I'm supposed to go maybe like in a week or two or something. So the guy's asking me like, okay, so we need to see like how you make your money monthly and stuff.
And
I'm like, oh shit, I do not have like then I wasn't doing crypto or anything, so I didn't have anything to show for. It's just like a few gigs here. I've been called to do content for this brand, for this company. Done a few, and then the guy looks at my account and like, hey, there's so much inconsistency here. What do you even do? Because here there's a 15 Gs, here there's a 20 Gs. Okay, here there's 100, but there's no money here. How do you even know like you're coming back in the country? So I had to go back to like just the client and tell them like, I think I need you guys to like,
write me something
because you're paying for everything. So financial like responsibilities on you guys. So when I went back with that letter and everything with stamps and everything, they were like, oh, okay, so you can go. So now comes time when I'm going for the Euro trip. And, okay, but that's where I'm saying like now you can see a lot of these Forex traders in Kenya. You don't see them going to Europe.
You can never.
You can never. And I think that's why it's so sad, because as much as they're making money, they don't understand the importance of like also incorporating your money in the system.
Oh, yeah.
You can't just say you're living the wild west, I'm making this money, but then you're not enjoying the full benefits of even the knowledge that you have. Because I would say now you see people they are experiencing probably like, drinking in the local clubs, experiencing the local women. But hey, let me tell you something. When you land somewhere like Ibiza,
I'm telling you, bro.
Looking around, you're looking at the women who are there.
No.
Or maybe the nightlife you experience, like maybe in Europe.
Yes.
You go to Amsterdam.
It's different.
It's a whole different experience.
Oh my God.
But when you come back in the country, you will tone down this excitement that you see. You will tone it down. Go to Monaco. Go see cars, and then come back to the country. You'll be more chilled. Because at some point, I think now you also have to think about, when I was saying like now it comes for Euro trip. Now they're like, oh, we need now to see like statements, bank statements. We need a minimum amount of like, how much was it? It was advisable to have at least 600 Gs in your account. At least.
Yes.
6 months consistently.
Yes.
And then social economic ties.
Yes.
What's
going to bring you back home?
What else do you have like just tied to?
And
that's where like a lot of people need to understand, like, you, as much as you're making money, and maybe there are some places where we have so many loopholes, you still need to have social economic ties. So now 100%. That's where government bonds come in.
I see. Yeah.
See now?
Yeah.
I'm loaning my money to the government.
So you're not going anywhere.
They owe me.
Yeah.
They owe me money. No, but sir, now your portfolio is strong.
Yeah.
because it shows that, okay, we've invested in the government, but definitely not going away.
Yeah.
You need to collect your money from these
them.
people.
Yeah.
And then you have things like mutual funds, which are still tied to. So that portfolio only comes like super, like it really is helpful because it also shows, especially let's say if you don't have relatives abroad and stuff, you're using like your own portfolio. It comes in like really handy because it shows like you're contributing to the country's economy.
Yes.
And the best thing about infrastructural bonds, of course, also tax-free.
Tax-free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
So, I mean, you're making money there. But I think for somebody who's, a novice, you haven't traveled a lot, have a little portion in that because you're contributing to the country's economy. And also you can have like your fund now outside because now in European countries, you can't just pull up like say, I made 40 million. First, if they have access to that 40 million, they take it.
They'll take half.
They'll take all the money.
Yeah. When you're coming in. Yeah.
Because
exactly.
Where the hell is this money from?
Exactly. It's not in the system.
They'll take the Kenyan government know about this? No. Okay. So this is money laundering. We take it.
We're confiscating this.
And your money goes like that. And there's nothing you can do about it.
100% you can't do anything about it.
So it's unfortunate, but you also have to understand like just playing by the rules and the structures that are there to your own favor. Because I think if you're capable of making money, understand the power that you have because not everybody can make that amount of money.
For sure.
That you can do in stocks, that you can do in Forex, or you can do in crypto. By whatever, okay, I don't want to say by any means that you're using. Don't scam people. I'm just saying like the people who are using like legit ways.
Yes.
Like it's good to understand like where you can incorporate with still systems so that if you show like your paperwork and transactions, it favors you in so many different ways. They're like, oh, okay, we see this is, my biggest question was they asked me, yes, we see the portfolio, but where did the money come from?
Yeah, where did it come from? What's the source of funds?
Yeah, I said I worked for over 10 years in an 8 to 5. I didn't touch my money.
Okay, show us the papers then.
I mean, no, but they won't go to that extent. They won't go to that. No, but there's some people who will ask.
They will ask.
Because, it's an embassy. Yes. So they look at you. They also have to look at you and like, no, it's a bit sketchy.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so important for us to also understand, like when you're flying to different countries, the rules that you need to abide by.
Oh, yeah.
But I think if it's Dubai, you can just go.
In Dubai, I mean, as long as you have money, they don't care.
Yeah, they really don't care.
They only care about money coming into their economy by all means necessary. Shout out to them. They have a system, but the West, Europe, is just tough.
It's very tough.
It is very difficult. And what you just said is testament to that fact.
Yeah.
None of these young boys, are doing those kind of things. Like if I'm making 300K, like honestly, bro.
Come on.
I'm in Monaco. I'm in the south of France. I'm in Tulum in Mexico. I'm in Ibiza.
And your best life there means your best life.
Oh, it is the best. It is the absolute best. The amount, if you're a guy, the access to the kinds of ladies that are out there, it's crazy. If you're a lady, the guys
that you meet there.
Yes.
Like, like even just in a place like Monaco where like 1 out of 3 people, millionaire. Like, man, come on now. Like it's just different. And so for me, like if someone is, and whatever it is that you said, it happened to me. Me and Kev can actually attest to this. Really?
We were out last year and we were doing the most.
Yeah.
But I was going through a phase.
Just getting it out of your system.
Just getting out of my system. And we're doing some crazy shit with my boy over here.
Yeah.
And then I looked back and I was like, damn. This could have actually, we could have gone to Europe and enjoyed ourselves on this bill.
Yes.
So whatever it is, it was just so stupid. And I was like, nah, this is crazy. Then now, of course, this year, once again back, I went back now to Amsterdam not too long ago.
Yeah.
I just walking central Amsterdam, I was like, my goodness, where are these people? Everyone is smelling nice. Everyone is looking nice.
Amazing. Yeah.
And no one cares.
Nobody cares.
No one cares if you're wearing designer head to toe. Yes.
Slippers.
You can be in sandals. No one is
You're riding those electric bikes. 100%. You've taken a scooter.
Yes.
Bruh, it's like just a...
You're just in like, whatever it is like you're trying to do here with your millions and millions that you've gotten in, your own kind of ways.
You will waste so much money in Kenya.
Yeah, like
So
over there,
much.
it just humbles you, and you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? I
Yeah.
really don't have nothing.
Yeah.
People in this world have money.
What? It's so crazy.
It is crazy. So yeah.
What has been your best experience? Like maybe even just traveling, or which country was like your favorite and stuff?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. The US will always be my favorite. I don't know if they're ever gonna take me back, but my goodness,
Yeah.
that was the US in the summer. Oh,
I don't know. It's just it's starting. Summer is starting right now, right?
Yeah. By next month, it'll be full blown. Yeah. Right now, it's just now slowly people are starting to get into the mood, and it's crazy. That one. Which other one did I enjoy as well? I did Barcelona. That was cool, but I went when it was cold. Did Rome. That was mad sick. Oh, that was dope. Rome is nice.
Really?
Shout out to the Romans.
The nightlife, or just like the overall experience?
Nightlife and overall experience. The food.
Okay.
Yeah, Italians are actually really dope people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, that one is like top of the list up there. Amsterdam was dope as well. What else? Where else I've never been to the UK.
And any Latin America countries?
I was meant to go to Colombia and Peru with my family last year, but I just backed out of it. And I regret that because they came back and told me the Latinas over there.
No, it's crazy.
No, they told me, man, you shouldn't.
It's
first
crazy.
and foremost, don't get married.
Yeah,
before
it's
going
crazy
to
before
South
you go
America.
there.
Yes,
Yeah.
just go there.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do, and then now if you want to come and settle, come and settle.
I think that's the only advice I've always just said, like on the podcast. Even if you feel like you're making money, the first thing you should do, or if you think money is coming in fast, like even to like what you're used to, just travel.
Yeah, just give it a shot.
Just travel, and you'll get a lot of things out of your system, and then you just because like let's say if you think about like even like let's say in Kenya, like we'd have like a little portion demand of light skinned girls, right? Which, they do stand out.
They do stand out.
But, if you're in Amsterdam and, you're seeing like a Russian babe, Ukrainian babe.
Eastern European, bro.
And forget even about the part of dating. You can see someone in a window and
yes, this is what I want right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
It's a whole... Like, you'll come back in this country and you'll just relax.
You just chill.
You'll relax.
I haven't been out.
There's no need to. I told people after I traveled, like the excitement really and even like if it's not even recently when I did the Euro trip, I just did Cape Town, like their nightlife, and I stopped going to clubs.
Yeah, bro, man, Cape Town is
not in a bad way.
Oh my God!
But you just yeah.
It's Cape Town has some
different.
baddies.
Yo, what? Listen.
Not even gonna lie. Oh my God.
Once you experience that, you'll come back like, yes, you can still have your fun, but you won't be overly excited about things.
No.
And I think that's what's important for even the people who are young. And I think it's a good strategy if you know how to make money, but get some things out of the system so that now you can be able to make like sound decisions with money.
Exactly. Yeah. Make proper decisions.
You know how to play, you know how to work, and you know even how to, better situations of like your family.
Yeah.
Because for me, my case, I can just say like now my portfolio is good enough for me. But I do want my portfolio to be good for me and now my family.
100%.
It's good to be able to travel.
Yeah.
But if I can't travel with like a few people that I love here and there,
that's the whole point.
It's not the same experience. But it would be nice to be able to be like, flight for you, and you.
Let's go.
Yep. And we go to Barcelona. We do like, what's the... Because there's this place you can buy like, cheap, nice sweatpants, shirts and everything. You go to like Primark Barcelona and just come out with suitcases of like buying like your relatives, people clothes back. I think those are the things now I would want to aim for. But as far as like just solo I'm good, but now I want to be better, like, and I think that's when I have to dip my feet like in stocks as well.
Yeah, man, just have something that will, I don't know, offset at an expense, like whatever it is that you're gonna get your relatives in Primark.
Yeah,
I don't know. Apple bought it for you.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, Apple's shares have appreciated. Yeah. You can take some to bless people in your life with, and I feel like that's the ultimate gift you can give to, people in this world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just to kind of like even backtrack, kind of like to what we were just talking about earlier is, the system right now is prime for folks who are looking to, invest in outside the country. My job is just to empower more and more Black people to be owners of the things that they actually own.
Yeah.
You own a phone, you own what else? I'm trying to think. I don't know. The drinks that you have in your house.
The chips that you own, or laptops.
Yes,
and
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Heck, you have a HP laptop. Why don't you have HP shares?
True.
Why are you just a consumer? So my job is just to empower people, give them this information, make sure that they're set up for success for the long term, so that so that they can be able to take care of themselves and their families. Because in the States, before a child is born, when a family sits down together, man and wife, and they're like, hey, where do you want our kid to go to college?
Yeah.
And okay, they decide, they're like, okay, cool. How much is that going to cost? Probably going to be like $250,000 of that year.
Yeah.
So how can we get there? Okay, cool. We'll have multiple investments, and you find that some stock portfolios pay for kids' fees and also on their retirement fund.
That's true.
And they're just people like us. They wake up, take a shower, go to work, come back, eat, sleep, do the thing like we all do.
And not forgetting, guys in the States and, just Europe in general, the taxes are crazy.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
You're paying 40.
They're terrible. And that's why I'm saying, if you're being able to be in Kenya and figure out these nice systems,
yes,
you can easily plan for your future. And it's going to be much easier, and you'll have a softer future.
For sure.
And you can also now empower people who are around you.
Yes.
The biggest problems, anytime we talk about money, a lot of people are not really open to learning about these new things. They're just and it's so crazy because I thought this would be things that my parents would say, but now even people who are younger, people who are still in their 30s, they're like, hey man, that seems too complicated. But they'll go and do the CBEX scams. They'll go play Aviator.
Yeah.
They'll go bet Sport Pesa, bet those two bet things. But now even now, as we're finalizing, because I know we've pushed it.
Yeah.
But I'll still always call you back for
100%. We can do this anytime. Yeah.
If that's something that you're open to, hey.
Yeah, we can do this anytime.
That's solidified.
Yeah.
Okay, so now about content as well.
Mm-hmm.
You do have your YouTube channel.
I do.
But also something that I would be concerned about is how comes you're not putting a lot of information there? Because I think your channel has more potential for not just local, but the kind of content that you're doing is something that can be consumed by people in every different sector of demography or countries in the world that somebody can actually think of. But how comes you're not? I think I counted you've done 10, 12 videos.
Yeah, very few videos.
Yeah, how comes? Or is it hard to make content towards that, or are you not getting the results that you wanted to, or why exactly aren't you doing more content on that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for me, it's number one, as a founder of something, you can attest to this. You know how hard it is to wear multiple hats and be able to perform really well on all fronts. So that's on me. I take full responsibility for that. But it's because I decided to use a system that's a bit, I want to just say capital heavy, because I have editors. I'll go shoot the video probably in a studio here in Nairobi. If I had this, I'd be all good.
You wake up in the morning and just record.
Yeah. I don't have this. And also the editors. So editors to get the kind of quality that, oh my gosh, it's $400 a pop for a video. So it's still capital intensive.
Yeah.
So my job is, and Kevin's as well, is just to come up with a system where we can find local people, make sure the money is staying in Kenya instead of going outside.
True.
Just have a team that can be able to help us create the content, because I have the knowledge, I have the ideas.
Yeah.
It's just now the execution that's a bit tough because of the costs. So, and also just to kind of mention on the whole audience thing, half of my audience is based in the States. 50% the United States have, UK, Germany. Those are the top three.
Yeah.
Kenya is, I think, fifth or sixth. So the reason why I was like, you know what, it would be great to, sorry.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why I feel like it would be great to just, come here, share some time with you, just chop it up as two young guys trying to, do better and give back to the community.
Yeah.
Is to do something like this. Give this information away out for free to your audience, to your viewers, so that they can also learn. And then from there, they can also check out what we do. They can tell their family friends. They can tell their family. They can tell their friends and all that. And then we all grow collectively together as a community. Because personally, I feel, JT, like if as the 2-3 billion people in Africa right now, if we just able to just push the needle a little and we become owners of our own companies in our countries and even abroad, we can say, have a seat at the table. We can be like, okay, this country, Kenyans, they own a lot of our assets. We need to listen to them and see how we can partner with them so that they can also grow and we grow. So it's a mutual benefit. So I'm just talking very vaguely. So let me just give a concrete example. If we own, I don't know, as a collective community, we own 50% of Barclays. Unajua, like, if the UK does some dumb shit, we can collapse that company.
Yeah. You're like, yo, you guys need to behave.
You need to behave. Let's treat us as peers. We're not just a colony anymore.
Send the cops to the streets if those guys are damaging things. We need the economy to be right.
Exactly. 100%. Those kind of things. So, like, when you have a seat at the table, not because of government and because of policy and whatnot, it's because of the people.
Yeah.
They have the financial capability.
Yeah.
If they are more, because people like Kenyans, if you get on Twitter and we say we're going to do this, everyone's going to do it. And that's the kind of leverage that, I want to try and teach so that we can be able to actually push that needle to that level and capacity where we have a seat at the table, all of us.
Yeah.
Like this podcast is able to be aired on television somewhere in Europe, for example, because we're giving away value for free. So that kind of thing. So seat at the table. That's all I want. I just want my Black people to be free. I want them to have freedom, and that comes with being financially okay.
True. Financial literacy is everything, though.
Yeah.
So now I know we've pushed it, but I do want to save I know it's a long episode, but
it's all good.
I do want to save everything else, maybe else for a part 2.
Sounds good.
Like if you have a slot monthly that you just wanna step in and just talk about maybe even current situation of the market, different approaches, you just know you have an open invite.
My goodness, I'm going to take you up on that because I usually always have a ton of stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
this guy's calling me to set up his portfolio as well. Okay. So I'll call him back. But I'd be more than happy to have a standing session with you.
Sure.
Just for me, I just want to give this information out for free. Don't want any money whatsoever. Because if I'm able to impact one of your viewers and they're able to take an action today to be able to push their lives and make their lives better.
Yeah.
Mseta mwenye ako Dandoch.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, this guy has talked about something interesting. Instead of me going kushika kwenda base kuchana ya so mbili. So actually so mbili nieke kwa, I don't know, kwa company.
Something. I think it's just that knowledge. And like I told you, we have so many. I know people do come across through money in different forms.
Yeah.
But money is in circulation.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's spent the same way it comes in.
Yep.
It's I'm getting money, spend. I'm getting money, or now buying land. I think there's a lady friend of mine who just told me okay, because I think I have also some OnlyFans girls that I've had on the podcast.
Yeah, shout out to the OnlyFans girls, man.
Shout outs to them.
Yeah.
And they make. The ones who are making money, they make
crazy
money.
Crazy money.
It's crazy money.
My goodness.
But now, unfortunately, it still goes back to that thing. They're buying land, they're doing what, and then I'm just yo, if you guys just know the power that you have. And it's so crazy because most of them who do the ChatUbates and OnlyFans and stuff, they're paid in crypto.
My goodness.
They're paid in crypto. And then, as much as they're paid in crypto, there's a huge portion of them who don't even know how to use crypto.
Oh my days.
So they introduce a middleman here in the center.
No
who
way.
gets so much money.
No way.
What? Yo.
Are you kidding me, man?
It's like it's digital pimping in that industry as well. So it's just different, but there's so much money as well. But then again, I think also that's an industry where it's like a lot of young women.
A lot of young women.
And I think
and it's exploitation.
Exactly.
Yes.
But if you've come across, now you start catching money at like, let's say 22, 23, I don't think it's possible for somebody to try and tell you anything else.
Yes.
Like, oh, use this strategy because you're like, I'm making that money anyway.
Anyways.
Because, you know, like I think there are a couple of guys who know for a fact they do 500 and
500,000 Kenyan shillings.
Yeah.
A month.
Easy.
Damn, man. That's like somebody in the office isn't making that kind of money.
I mean,
you're like in a position of privilege with that.
But they spend so much that it looks like it's abnormal and it makes no sense. Like I even ask, at times I ask like, okay, like how is it possible to spend that much? Because I know how to have fun. I don't understand how it's possible to use all that money, but they do use money and finish it. That's the same example I was trying to tell you, like the same way the stripper and escort was finishing that amount of money.
Yeah.
But she was still living like, you know, in like, you know, not staying in Island is not a bad thing. But she was staying like, you know, places where she's still paying probably like 10, 5 Gs.
And you're making...
When she was making that kind of money. But,
yeah.
you know, it's just because of the environment.
Yeah,
I can't leave my people.
Yes.
But collectively, that's just her. Remember, she also has her friends who are making money that's almost close to that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine if it's 5 girls making that amount of money, if they just took 1 year to say like, this year we invest.
I'm going to lock in.
Or let's say the first year we're building a portfolio for this girl.
Yes.
Next year we build a portfolio
for this one.
After 5 years, they're done. Set for life.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good to go.
Set for life. But unfortunately, also again, I don't think a lot of people who come into money early are ready to learn, especially if you've grown up with, you've just lacked everything.
Yes.
And then money starts coming in. It's a whole different psychology. But for those who are like bright enough, I think they'll be able to stand the test of time. But most people who are making money now who are young, they'll still be broke like in a couple of years. It's almost guaranteed because, you know, if you don't have that portfolio, you don't have dividends, you don't have compounding interest, there's no way that money is going to last.
Absolutely not. And
plus inflation.
And plus inflation. Your money is going to lose value every single day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, that just goes to show that whatever it is that we're doing right here is super, super important. To just educate everybody, whether you're in your early 20s, you're 18, all the way up till you're in your 40s, you know, even 50s if possible. It cuts across, you know. The idea is just to make sure that you have something that is working for you so that you really don't have to stress.
Regardless, even if you hurt your foot, you know, you need to take a break, money's still coming in.
You're still making something.
Yeah.
And if you need like a significant amount, you can be able to just liquidate. And actually that brings me to a point of what you just said actually earlier, what you think about money market funds. And this is one thing that I really tell everyone who asks me, what do I think about money market funds? And for me, I feel like, number one, I treat MMF like a bank. Like I'll go, let it earn slightly more interest than what I would get from a bank, but I can just be able to access that money immediately if I need it. And one thing I also don't like about them is the fees. MMFs are freaking expensive.
You know, those transaction fees, like, are just like...
Yeah, and even the management fees.
Oh.
Yeah, the management, because they have it there, and people don't read.
Okay.
It's 2%.
So if you put it up with the interest they're giving you and everything,
just do minus 2%. If they're giving you 11%, you know, returns, that's gross. So take away 2% annual management, you get 9,
and there's a tax probably.
And the tax, so you're making around 7, maybe even less.
I wouldn't, by the way. I wouldn't even
So
touch
that's
it.
almost close to being a bank.
I wouldn't touch it.
So so MMF for me, that to me is not an investment instrument. Bonds is great.
Yeah.
Equities and stocks is great.
Yeah.
Bills is also fine. Crypto, in as much as it's risky, if you understand the ropes.
If you understand it, I think it's really a really good instrument.
100%, it's a great instrument.
Yeah.
So those things are the ones that will push the needle in your life, and you can be able to live a better life. So I think that's basically it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now, guys, we have to save everything else for part 2. But I hope this episode has been informative and like just maybe a wake-up call, because I also, for my case, I really didn't know anything to do with how to get into stocks. This last person who came, they were just trying to explain to me, but they were not doing international stocks. They were doing like
Kenyan
the local
stocks.
ones.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at all the other things, and then I can't monitor on my phone. I said, like, that's not something that might interest me. And hopefully from this episode, if you have like any other questions that you would want me to ask him on the next episode, please include them in the comment section below. And then what would be your parting shot for anyone who's trying to get into investment or build a portfolio? What would be your advice?
Yeah, get started. The best time was yesterday. Today is also a good day. If you want to get started, just do it as soon as possible. If you need help, we're here for you. The name of the company is Basquiat Capital. So inspired by Jean-Michel Basquiat, if you know him. But Basquiat Capital, that's BASQUIAT capital.com.
Yeah.
Check us out. You can drop me an email. You can get onto my socials as well. Life of Stomzy on Instagram and TikTok. It's the Life of Stomzy show on YouTube. Reach out. Feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to just help you get started.
Sure.
As opposed to being like, hey, you know what? We'll wait until like episode 2 or whatever for you to get more information. You can get started right now. So I'm more than happy to do that. And I mean, like I said, this is just an emancipation of Black people and Africans. That's kind of like the goal and the entire vision of this entire project. Just get people good, so that going to Europe, going to whichever country that you're looking to go to and travel, is no longer difficult, because you have the means. Heck, you can even, if you have a good amount of money, if I had that 40 million, I'm buying a European passport with that money.
Actually, true.
Yes,
true.
And that's
actually true.
That's it. The world is open.
There's so many countries that you can actually now have access to just because of that passport.
Just because of that passport. You have literally the entire map turns green. Of the entire world. You can go anywhere and stay for whatever amount of time.
And even if you like just make a little bit extra money, if you think it's really like just, you're restless, just take a travel, just travel to Dubai, just do travel and get a few things off your system. I think it's just, how Kenyans, if you're like, if you're into light-skinned women, just travel to a country where it has light-skinned women. If you're into like, curvy, big asses, go to Cape Town. Go to Cape Town.
Man, they're in abundance.
If you think you've seen it,
just
travel. And then it will just make you like make really sound decisions. I think that's the best advice I think I can give.
100%.
Because I think for guys, usually the biggest confusion that comes in is women. And like you said, Warren Buffett, pick any of the billionaires, like even Elon Musk still have women problems right now. Constantly. So there's some things, just go out, experience, and then when you come back, I think the biggest advantage of living in Kenya is being able to, like you said, like the, what is it called? Geographical arbitrage. Just being able to make money outside and spend it in here.
It's the best.
I think that's the best thing ever. So I think just try get into digital assets, understand what markets are. And I think for me, the basic, I'm always trying to tell people, just learn how to buy and sell in any of the platforms.
100%.
Whether it's Forex, crypto, or stocks, if you know how to buy and sell, that's a good foundation. And then now you can learn from there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think for part 2, I owe you a visual of the portfolio. I just want to show you that whatever it is I'm talking about is actually true.
Yeah.
I'm not just pulling
Of whose portfolio now?
My portfolio.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you want us to do, we can do it right now. But if you want us to do part 2,
no, let's do it part 2 because
part
I
2.
think like now we see if we've done this for like 2 hours, I wouldn't want us to take away from like what will be in the portfolio. We can discuss that now. For part 2, we can do it like in length. So
Sounds
guys,
good. Yeah.
let's just save that for like the next part.
Sounds good. I'm down. I'm happy.
So I guess,
JT.
what did you think about the podcast?
Man, this was awesome. I love being on here. We've talked for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
That means we can chop it up proper. So, man, this is such an honor. I really appreciate you so much for just, giving us access to this space. And your audience, giving us time with them. I hope we didn't waste any of your time. I didn't waste any of your time. And yeah, I'm happy to do this again and again and again. Any single time you want to get this set up, I'll always have time to just get this done. So yeah, love this and love what you're doing. Keep going.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah,
mad respect. Till next time, guys, we have to say goodbye for now. The Kisscapades podcast is your gateway to holistic growth and personal transformation. Together, we'll unlock the secrets to living a life of health, wealth, love, and happiness. So make sure to tune in every week and join us as we explore the essence of what it means to truly thrive. And lastly, show us some love and support in our social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, basically all the social media platforms that, support podcasting will definitely be there. Even with the short clips and reels, you can find us there. And lastly, don't be shy with feedback, suggestions, or any questions that you might have in regards to the episodes or our podcast. It's the Kisscapades Podcast. Goodbye.